Bentar, bentar.
Aduh, sakit. Woi Kevin, kamu ngapa sekali Kev? Lah keluar anjir. Hei Anda, bener-bener ya. Anda terlalu introvert. Iya introvert. Hei, nih bangke. Nah, sih.
Biar nggak sakit kupingnya coy, pakai jaket.
Hah? Jaket?
Biar nggak kedinginan.
Kok jadi sakit kuping sih?
Gue kalau pakai headset kelamaan sakit kupingnya.
Sama ini bengkak udah.
Yeah, a little Tom and Jerry action never hurt anyone. I'm looking forward to it. But of course, guys, you're watching, join in on the fun on as well as the conversation by using that hashtag Verizon 5G all chat. And we'll feature your tweets throughout today's broadcast, just as we have been. Pop up right below me, right my smoggy area here. So, get out there, get tweeting right now. Speaking of social media, by the way, we had a poll on @Valorant Esports, and fans believe that version 1 will win today's matchup. So, I think it's time to go to the predictions here. Kilios, you seem like you're a little perturbed, maybe a little verklempt.
Halo.
What's going on? Who do you got winning?
Tumben pakai Yahudi nih, yoi. Halo guys, halo. Biar nggak kedinginan coy. AC-nya soalnya bener-bener di situ. Arahnya ke gua gitu.
They looked great versus TL. Did not one mount one of those wins. They looked dominant. They looked like they were adapting on the fly. They looked really great. So version 1 is not going to win this series. It's going to be new turn. They're going to take it. They're going to.
Kenapa AC-nya kenapa?
Karena saya selalu ngarah ke lu kan. Buka dikit nampak.
Buka dikit.
Buka dikit bang, peka.
Ada nanti dibilang selingkuh sama cewek aing. Susah. Bentar ya guys ya.
Enggak dia. Valorantnya nggak ada suara. Apa live stream Valorant? Nah itu apa ya kalau cari. Masih judulnya sih kok nggak nemu dah. Ini ya. Ini. Starting right now aja. Ken.
Aduh.
Ken.
24 sih gue biasanya. Gue 17 anjir ini.
Ken.
Lagi ngapain bang Ken? Lagi matiin lampu segala macem biar ambience nontonnya lebih enak lagi. di bagian gue enak sih, soalnya kayak ada banyak itu. Lah gue AC plus kipas, anjir lu masuk angin anjir mau siapa? Jadi dukung tim mana? Oke, jadi untuk yang awal, gue dukung apa ya tadi?
Menit, menit. Nah, kenapa di temennya itu? Men, ayo.
Sabar ya. Gua dukung extend gue dukung siap right ya. Terus gue dukung crew e-sport lawan liquid, gue dukung crew anjir. Terus habis itu gue dukung V1 lawan Newton, gue dukung V1.
Timnya yang mana sih?
Extend V1 liquid. Extend V1 liquid.
Ada lagi pun kita jelek. Ini kesejahteraan bersama untuk mana lebih.
Ada taruhan McD nggak? Ada dong. 체라는 카메라고 감상을 해 홈탄 카메라 빠빠빠빠. Ini jago nih nutur nih anjing. Ya macem-macem lo mau nutur. Tapi gue megang V1 anjir. Apa? Ini siapa nih? Viking ya? Oh, kru anjing, kru. Gila, kru kemarin shock shark anjir. Dibantai shark sama kru 2-0.
We're in the lower bracket and I love a lower bracket grind. ไม่รู้สึกกลัวเพราะว่าเรา We're gonna be a winning team. We're gonna be a champion team. เราก็ต้องทำให้เต็มที่ครับ Patipan my bro. Patipan my bro. Extend, let's go extend. Patipan my bro. Buff Thailand. Nerf. Yang lain di nerf aja lah udah. Yang lain di nerf aja. Kocak. Sambil STD ah.
Enak lihat di kamar ya. Nah, saya gue di luar aja pakai kipas. Ini gua ya bener. Woi.
Ini nobar yang apa? Nobar yang game 1 doang ya. Habis itu aing off.
Ooh, baby, I can feel it in my bones, all hot and bothered. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Masters Reykjavik. My name is Doug, and alongside me is
The Master Reykjavik.
Bislin the third. It's day 4. 8 teams will enter, and 2 teams will go home. And as the desk so eloquently put,
Newton lawan V1.
bracket showdown between Korea's.
Kalian menurut kalian 2-1, 2-0?
How you feeling right now?
Siapa yang 2, siapa yang 1, siapa yang 0? Ayo siapa?
Honestly, how can you not be hype after those intros? What you know coming into the day, everything is building. And now North America versus Korea is coming to a head here.
Oi, gua ngomong. Kenapa Mikael?
I am sorry in one of our first matches here of the day.
Hah?
Halo,
Halo.
baru kedengaran kan?
Tadi kayak suara lu kecil gitu deh. Kayak gua kira lu lagi ngomong sama yang lain.
Emang kecil kah? What the?
Ini gua harus
Udah kah?
Udah. Gue harus matiin ini dulu. Matiin apa? Kalau gue nyalain Valorant ini gue udah nggak kedengeran lagi.
Oh, udah nyalain aja, ini ngomong juga nggak jelas.
Oke.
Gue chat aja, gue chat.
Patipan nanti dibantai nangis. Jangan salah lo, Patipan strong coy. Weh, halo caranya. Wah, gue tuh lagi bingung mau V1 atau nutur nih anjir. Enggak, gua kawal V1 sampai. Hello Emir. Woi, kenapa coki? Room tour aja nggak mau ah. Capek ah, room tour. Waktu itu udah room tour. Sini Mikael, gue di tempat story.
That man right there.
Kapan tuh room tour? Nanti.
Style that they had in order to get here, I think it's been very well documented that version 1 excelled and really kind of set the pace for how to play the post.
Puas. Tapi tetap nggak bisa.
Secondary utility is used. How the retakes are done. And really, what is
keren juga anjir.
Prime Gaming Agent selects Jammies on the Viper, and we have noticed New Turn do not play the Viper. It's one of the things that really has seemed to separate a few teams here and being able to stall out, create their own situation, their own with the toxic screen as they go in. So we'll see if that
enggak. Turni Valo nanti dulu. Baru bakal masukin Valo perlahan-lahan gitu loh. Kan kemarin kan seret. Bang, kok gue nggak bisa join lu? Aku lagi di dalam story ini. Nanti habis ini baru. Ini aku lagi di dalam story. Udah wave 4/15.
I think you certainly feel lackluster, so it's good to see those two. I think across the board, this also bodes well. And again, I'm
Musyafa.
because of how Haven went the last time we saw this on this map. They have not made any adjustments as far as composition goes. Now the play style might be a bit different, but so far they're sticking to their guns. They're starting off on the attack, and it looks like early on this is going to be a bit of like a feel things out default. You've got the
kan Apex pusing anjir. Itu game yang sangat memusingkan.
This is a good setup early on.
And we have to make sure to mention now they're on their agents. You can kind of get a track of them. Penny on Jet. Watch out for it. Allow on the Jet on the other side. That's for version 1 and New Turn respectively as we start off. So the wall here coming in from version 1 basically denies a fast A, or at least an A that New Turn has to think about as they would run through the toxic screen. And no real aggression here to start coming in from V1. They're happy to stay, set down some stars, and we do see the Astra on both sides as Perry starts laying some out towards garage.
Anjir.
I do think it's good to see Penny
nembak musuh sampai peluru habis anjir.
More of aggressive positioning, right? Like this area of the map is so heavily contested, and it's because of that, right? Like you get so much control if you can exploit that area. Penny already swings out. Oh, and Vanity's on the flank as well. They take in the middle of the space. New Turn, they're trapped right now. They're going to have to fight their way through the defenses of V1.
Beautiful job by Vanity. They've been able to separate the map a little bit with the way they played the Killjoy turret, which allowed them to play back, allowed them to play these hard corners. Zelsis now picks one up, and they're just picking apart New Turn ever so slowly.
Kok kayak suara senjatanya kecil banget ya?
They have to slowly, you see Allow like slowly working his way around because they don't know how far up Vanity.
Tapi suara casternya gede banget anjir.
Vanity has retreated back. But again, like because of the way the early round played out, they really have nowhere else to go. They have to commit today. And V1's not giving them an inch. Very looking to take some of it. However, he's going to get dropped at the hands of Celsius. V1 win the pistol.
Opening shots of confidence. Looking to read the map, feel it out, see a few pitches coming in from version 1, and the first one was a laser shot from Penny. He picks up 2 on the round, an extra 400 in the pocket for him and Zelsis, as now we head into round 2. We will see Spectres now coming out of New Turn. the wall is switched up, so they basically cut off A this time. This may give Penny a little bit more of a push. You see the turret being placed on the left side of B here. This allows Zelsis to actually play between two sites. Awesome distance and use of the utility there.
So that's such a good counter to that Viper's wall. When that wall goes up, there's no
Nggak seru, nggak live Minecraft. Nggak suka Minecraft aku Coki.
possibility that somebody on the side of E1 has already pushed their way aggressively through that, right? But right off the bat, Lakia drops the recon dart right past that to expose where Penny might have been going. He had to wait it out before working his way forward, but it seems like
Anjing, enunya force buy anjir. Wow.
Towards the back, he is watching on their flank right now. Possibly waiting for that sonar bolt to come up to fire it over. You can see him setting up. Spike's got dropped, but Jammy's already pushing before they can get the strategy into position.
Oh, Lakia.
you can see V1 went hunting, trying to
Let's go.
bit off a bit more than they could chew.
Let's go.
Things drop down to a 3v2 in
Let's
favor
go.
of Newturn. Now the spike is not on the site. They do have some time.
Ayo, this stupid guy. Why pick
They're
it?
going elsewhere.
And then they die in C because of the nano swarm.
Played the time based on when they made
Ayo, this guy.
Say a setup would be happening now. It's been about 30 seconds. Peek out and you catch them waiting to shoot one over A. Now over towards C. That's just going to be Solo doing what he can. $300 is what they want to get as Zelsis finds Lakia, and he's going to go straight for that plant, drive it into the ground, and hope for the best.
Well,
Ayo, that's a big mistake. Harusnya tuh dia cabut anjing kalau force buy tapi menang, untung banget tuh. Dibilang untung juga enggak sih. Udah waktu itu udah pernah coba main, nggak suka. Terlalu pusing main Minecraft. Mungkin kurang pemanasan kali kamu, makanya pemanasan dulu dong.
Is why you can't sleep on U-turn. It's because of plays like that that don't go their way. And even this play, right? If not by timing, Lakia has a chance at Zelsis and the round easily goes the other way. So you're feeling that this map already is just like being.
Tapi gue tuh pingin banget V1 kalah anjir.
That can change that.
Gue benci banget sama yang apa ya namanya ya? Vanity ya kalau nggak salah ya. Bukan. Vanity deh kalau nggak salah. Tapi Evisnya nih gila anjir, Viwas Evis ini. Ayo Vanity, gue nggak suka banget sama Vanity ini. Kemarin pas Solkas itu parah ya. Force buy dan kalah, kill 1 pun kagak. Kill 3 mereka. Bangga tinggal di mana? Di Tangerang. Tangerang apa di Tangerang?
Slowing things down if they need to on an initial rush. Version 1 still looking to creep up. I think Suggest has then seen that there was he would have heard that alarm bot placed in, so they know a bit of killjoy position.
Oh itu kan misalkan ya, kalau misalkan itu udah rugi banget anjir. Ini mereka ya kok semua, kecuali si Lakianya nih pakai Phantom.
Once again, they creep up as close as they can get. They feel like not having too many weapons dug. They got to get as close as possible and close the gap to get these frags. Effie is close, and so is Penny. We'll see if they can make it out of this one as the chaos ensues.
30 seconds left.
Oh, this will be noise. They decide not to drop it.
The dart, the flash, the cloud burst, the dash as they work their way onto the side, and so far Allow has gotten through entirely.
Oh no! Oh anjir!
With a handful of folks on the side of U-turn. Hello, he's able to get a couple, but Allow looking to trade things back. He's gotten 2. Zelsis getting
anjir, what the fuck? Ayo, 14-15.
They win the pistol, they win the following round, and then even with the damage that Newturn did to their bonus for V1 to win this is big.
Biasa ya kalau kompe bau pas DM bau kompe bagus. Gua kalau misalkan biasa main kayak gitu. DM jelek, kompe bagus. Kalau misalkan DM-nya bagus, kompenya killnya cuma dikit anjir, gak tahu kenapa.
So Newturn is learning what the movement, what the pressure of version 1 is. Ever so slightly, you want to find the precedent that your opponent is setting.
Mereka udah radian berapa kali tuh, Gan? DM deathmatch.
but now in our first gun round,
Mereka mah udah
pays off that they've done for these first.
radian berkali-kali kali. Setiap hack radian kali. Oh, nice. Nice.
Holds fast, is able to stop the aggression. Penny with the op, we saw how devastating he can be with this weapon. Not able to land anything yet. You see him reposition. He's gonna get a chance. And yeah,
my God.
he delivers Blade Storm out as Penny tries to stay alive using the counter from the.
Gila. Oh, nice banget. Let's go new. Let's go new.
And again, new turn, overwhelm. It's how they're able to get in. The first one, obviously allow. He's just saying you're not allowed to do that. You can't push. And it was a great read. If we remember what really came to fruition.
Lihatnya NU solo KR. Tahu nggak maksudnya apa? Solo Korea, coy. Story udah berapa? Ini lagi wave 15. Bang, jangan cheat, Bang. Cheat apaan? Aku nggak nge-cheat. Cheat pakai. Hanyong nama Sumida. Hanyong nama Sumida.
To have the wherewithal to even expect that, knowing
Hanyong nama Sumida.
it all was very impressive. Mixed by
Waduh.
the boys on the defending side here as we
nggak?
enter
Iya,
round
gue
5.
sambil live ya.
Presence towards
Oh.
this time on the side of new turn as they're actually looking to exploit the middle.
Jadi lu dukung siapa nih?
V1.
Gue dua-duanya anjir.
Hah?
Some deep
Maksudnya?
stars here.
Dua-duanya
Play
gue.
with the minds of version
Nggak,
1.
maksudnya apa? Dua-duanya tuh apa?
21-21.
Coming straight
Oh.
in, actually just shot to the left, a blind fire on the showstopper here, and that's going to be great for version 1 on the frenzy round with 2 vandals.
Yeah, getting
Entah mengapa gue agak takut sama new-nya anjir.
value.
Jadi gue yakin banget gue mau dukung V1.
You know is that there's nobody playing that tight 50, but certainly not what you're looking for when you invest in an ultimate like that. So they cut noise.
Tadi bagus kok.
Enggak Discord. Aku lagi Discord sama temanku soalnya.
Heavy that way, you still see a couple of pings on the minimap.
CH gue 13-22. Maksudnya apa tuh CH?
They do push into that. They do have Zelsis's lockdown.
Aduh, race-nya Paok.
Wow, traded back quickly by Perry. Nice little retribution kill there as they head in. And they don't even know he's there. Allow just can't find the targets. And
Wah, gila. Nge-pro anjing.
Perry looking to do what he can.
1v3.
Perry.
Bagus. Sering-seringin aja live, nutur.
Penny continues to impress the young cracked out star on
Lu
the
2-0, Dut.
secures the round for the
Kagak,
Bulls
map
defense.
1.
It's
Oh.
version 1. If they do go down, we see the next round they just info deny.
Berani
Until
banget
they
anjing
say, "All right,
pakai
pick now." There's
Frenzy naga.
You know, you're kind of predicting a lull in your opponent's senses.
Apapun yang berbau naga bagus anjing.
Rotating, you catch him in that rotation. Just
Walaupun
to dodge the
skinnya
showstopper,
biasa aja.
with the frenzy, especially going up against full guns.
Bang Ken adalah fans Patipan garis keras ya dong anjir. Harus dong.
Ya,
Patipan.
gue juga demen Patipan anjing.
Gue dukung extend anjir.
And Penny have taken the space aggressively.
In
And
pit.
they double down on that by dropping the Viper's pit. This is a this is a tough situation for Newturn because they have to decide, are we going to fight into it?
Lagi di DC mana bang? Ini aku lagi teleponan sama temanku doang, nggak masuk channel mana-mana.
Coming from Newturn, they wanted to get in.
Yes,
That's
anyway.
Blade Storm. That's going to be Rolling Thunder as they get into A, but it's all slowed down and they lose Jammies. So a ruffle of the feathers to start. Newturn handles it perfectly, and they still have those ultimates.
Gue pegang dukung V1 soalnya ini Dot, sampai Heaven anjing. Heaven dia dibantai anjing sama Baby Shark.
Siapa? Oh si Nutron.
Iya.
Oh. Woi Mikael, lu mau ikut nggak Mikael?
Wah gila Penny.
Penny lane is in my ear and in my hand. Peruru.
And it is
Di 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 di. Puru
ultimate there being
puru.
down for the lockdown, I
Wes.
should say. I was just super impressed with how they got them out early, but it still comes down to the fact that Perry has to make it work again. Always on the flank. We saw this last round. He's trying to make things work from across the map with the smokes, but still be present for the late game situation here in each round. I should say late round situation.
Ini Perry ini nge-better banget ya.
On this one, Perry keeps up live, keeps the Phantom in his hands. That might go to suggest or Lakia here
Perry.
to our next round.
Perry kayak The Mimic.
Penny.
Yang kayak The Mimic tuh Perry, bukan Penny. Selalu hidup terakhir, entah dari mana.
Version 1 have read this map, right? Like there have been a couple of times now where we've seen them position themselves in such a way that they're just a step ahead of Newturn from a macro perspective. Even like having him trap them in to the lockdown, not giving them an easy escape is huge. Slight adjustment that we see here out of Viper's wall.
Makan lah.
Here, the gravity well has been used early on. Control has been taken away, and that's the narrative that we're going to continue to see throughout really.
Sambil makan ini cemilan diet coy.
Watch that flank past the early game. Allow picked up 2 big frags at long C.
Lah, bukannya dari tadi lu udah di depan anjir.
Reading version 1 a bit. Version 1 then sets back to a different
Dari tadi udah ditungguin gitu.
defensive side, and it's like an info denial. Newturn can't figure out.
Nih, kalau misalkan kalian mau diet, makan ini nih.
They're gonna throw their numbers towards A.
Malkis kelapa kopior, kelapa diet.
If they can get it. I should say credits, 300 credits.
Yeah, this may be a bit of a, you know, make some noise, see what kills you can get, which so far have been none.
Penny si Eme tajam anjing.
But the nice thing is that is going to draw some attention away from C, which is where Solo is just very quietly going to waltz his way up. But you've got to remember here, they don't really have weaponry, and Solo's alone. Zelsus once again is on the read with Jammies. I'm telling you, Riv,
Ini story doang kok, Mikhail.
I was going to say V1 does not usually rotate out of the site until the spike is being planted. So big credit to Newturn there for making him bite, because Newturn has been going to every site. They say, let's switch it up this time. We're on the eco. We kind of need to even stretch ourselves thin to make that work. Version 1 in the middle of the round say, wait a minute, this is different. They come right back. Then Solo can't even plant there. And they were a moment from having it, right? But V1 flipped the switch, and they were like, no. Here we go. So round 8, 6-1. The version 1 here on defense shutting down.
Extend kemarin menang lawan siapa ya? Oh, Rafun.
Flawless fashion as well. It seems like they've picked up right where they left off. But this time, it's unfortunately against them. I think they set the record the last time we saw them on the big stage for most flawless rounds probably ever in the history of everything. But again, this time...
Nice! Let's go, baby. Let's go!
From V1. So now they're going to have better weapons. Now they're going to have
kayaknya sunyi ya,
similar
nggak ada suara.
Iya, anjir.
Controlling that A short area and a ton of
semuanya pakai headset semua anjir.
Doug, look at this wall as well from Jammies. They're giving them less and less as the map goes on. The next time Newturn gets guns,
ini kalau kalah lagi sih GG nih turun sini.
They say, well, we're going left. Zelsus eats a bit of a nade there, and we'll see how they can control C. Full retake in position right now. If it is a C play here, Newturn's going to have it to themselves. How this?
Oh, and Zelsus already dropping early on. Certainly doesn't help. They've gotten onto the site. Solo's going to get the spike down. And he has a Blade Storm in tow.
Gue benci banget aja sama yang Vanity ini. Songong tadi.
Slow burn from Jamie. Still working his way out of the eastern side.
Enggak kok.
Kemarin pas lawan Liquid.
So well positioned right now. Right, they also still have the cosmic divide out of Perry that they can
Ini songong belagu kayak nyebelin aja gitu. Terus headsetnya ada kupingnya gitu anjir. Oh. Hah? Tiba-tiba last player standing anjing. Oh nice. No.
GG. Nocturne GG.
Oh my god, V1.
Full clench.
Ini kalau mainnya kayak gini 2-0 nih.
On the stage.
Hilang dong.
Very
Aduh.
what happened within the site take where the last person could have escaped to, and that absolutely helped clutch that round. With Jammies here on
gila ya. Saya yang bener-bener bagus mainnya, yang kelihatan bener-bener nampil tuh extend doang tuh. Asia.
Iya.
was excellent display of lung power. You gotta give it to him.
That was some diaphragm usage.
It was a little.
Oh, mati. Goblok anjing.
Like a book, as we see that even if they
angle-nya bagus banget ya.
Parah, Cok.
towards A, like V1 they have it locked down. They haven't found very much success on that side of the map at all, and much like we've seen previous times,
Keras banget anjir, parah.
Vanity takes the middle of the map. Look at where he is on your mini map right now. He's about to walk into the defender spawn. He's got the Viper's wall to conceal his advancements, and he's got the chance to catch Perry. Yep, and that's just too easy. It's too easy. He was in astral form. He had the spike. He dropped. Suggest is left alone in a 1v4. Things continue to go sideways for Neutron.
Oh, Vanity tries to get the movement shot there. Suggest quickly tucks and fires. He's going to be good for that. And this is going to be a tough one. Suggest definitely has some of the best aim on the team. It's quiet, but when he pops off, it is a loud statement. Firing forward, trying to catch that drone off guard, but they're still too distance from the play.
Oh, anjing matinya kayak gitu ngeselin banget sih anjing. Mati karena shock dart tuh paling ngeselin anjir. Shock dart.
Haven, while there were questions, right? Like I was the first to say it, right? Like U-turn, we're calling a good map against Sharks.
Gak menang soalnya, jujur sama magnitude-nya itu.
Seeing them really get exposed on both sides of the proverbial ball. Defensively, they didn't look good against Sharks. On attack, they certainly don't look good against V1, and U-turn just seem at a loss on this map.
We'll see. It is going to be a tactical timeout coming in from U-turn. Nothing they're doing seems to work. And one of the amazing things is it seems like there are rounds when V1 knows to info deny and rounds when Vanity knows that he freely has window. Just based off a few things that are going down. The shot calling we're seeing from Vanity here is absolutely amazing throughout the tournament so far, and it's no wonder that the Cinderella story here, from challengers to team roster switches to subs, albeit one at a time, that version 1 is definitely a team meant to be here on the world.
Saya lagi streaming. Streaming Valorant, masa liatin Roblox.
Now, Riv, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna put you on the spot. At what point do version 1 go from Cinderella that kind of goes back to Pumpkin and drags at the end of the night? When do they go from that to full-on Belle of the Ball?
Nggak enak nontonnya kalau setengah-setengah.
Right? Like, what more is left for them to do to shift the narrative in people's minds that they're not just underdogs and that they maybe don't deserve to be here?
BTW gue nggak turun-turun tuh, gue nimbang tadi masih cepet anjing.
Ya lu belum lihat anjing.
Wah.
Lemah. Gua aja belum mulai, gua tunggu master aja baru mulai start.
Boleh.
Pas kan awal bulan.
Bisa.
Tapi Nobar gini dia nggak asik anjing.
Allow goes down almost immediately on the round. That's going to be an operator in Penny's hand for this round.
Dude, Penny hit that
Malam
after the Viper's
makan apa ya?
McD lah.
Kemarin muda anjing, cepetin sendiri goblok.
Give the dude a haircut, just saw like a pixel onto that shot.
Geprek boleh ya.
Pak Gembus enak tuh dulu, pernah coba Pak Gembus belum?
Pernah, itu yang bumbunya
kacang itu.
Kacang ya.
Itu enak anjir.
Boleh tuh, harus coba gue lihat. Gue nyari kalau bumbu.
Paling enak sih, gue paling suka Pak Gembus sih daripada geprek.
Oh, Vanity Lakia gives him the business left, right, good night. He drops, and that should give him entry onto A, except for Penny is on the flank. The flash.
Oh, dia nggak tahu. Nggak kena anjing.
Push things back. The spike has not moved, Riv.
4v3.
Enggak. Gue telepon dia langsung.
Insight, but they do have the Hunter's Fury if they want to get it. That Viper's Pit has been dropped as Jamie starts to 12 round. I was going to say Perry is making some.
Nggak masuk channel mana-mana kok.
But they are privy to what's going down. Solo now being seen.
Udahlah.
Kill from the operator, shot to the chest.
Gue jadi V1 nggak perlu rotate anjing.
Another 3v1.
Fanatic extend ya. Jam 2 habis ini.
Dude, I'm getting like Monty Python and the Holy Grail type.
Lawan True
None shall
anjing.
pass
True
vibes.
anjing.
For U-turn, they're feeling things out, right? It's not like
Wah, BSD, Kyle.
Penny, you're so bad. Like it's not like they're running their head into a wall on one specific site and they're just trying to brute force their way. They're just getting stuff. They're feeling out
Radian kok
areas of the
nge-whiff.
map, right? Like they're calling fakes. They're calling
Nggak boleh.
Nggak
Lagi
boleh.
mau
They're doing all the right things.
Nggak
They
boleh
just
ya.
can't find a way in.
Memalukan.
This is really a time as well when we get to see, you know, what new turn is made of, and that's not to say 9-1. It's always strong mentality coming out of Korean teams. They weather the storm, they find a way back, they know it's never over. Is right now version 1 seems to have them in a bit of chaos mode.
Emang gimana sama Kyle?
Do their own strats. They're kind of playing to version 1's game, and that means you're always a step behind what you as U-turn want to be doing. So again, they wait. Zelsus pushes, they find a frag, and this is where New-turn may start to grab a little bit of momentum. 2 down now on the side of version 1 is New-turn.
Ayo dong, comeback dong.
You really have to.
Maknya lah.
Playing the toxic screen.
Hey, he doesn't have any backup, yeah, so if he drops, they're going to be able to regain control. They're going to know that he's
sedangkan
pushing up, but
Ini kalau kalah lagi sih.
they're going to pull back
diam lah udah anjing.
No, he gets a couple shots right in the back of the head. Courtesy of Perry Envy's.
Aman. Ini FB dude anjing. FB tuh paling GG tadi di V1. FB paling serem anjing dari kemarin. Udah cewek bang, RR gua 0, jadi kalau kalah ke silver 3 lagi. Sini ke silver 3 lagi aja. Bertemu gua di silver 3. Bang, crosshair kayak James tadi yang Viper tadi berapa? Mana ai tahu Kenjiro.
As a version 1 have momentum, they're gonna feel good, and New-turn maybe back to that position.
Gua V1 bakal menang tapi 2-1 skornya.
You know, Haven's one of our
harus 2-1.
So it seems like they're just kind of being locked into this position. Here, they have 5 ultimates up. They're dealing with that same wall that version 1 has been putting up. And let's see how they use their util on the side of New-turn here.
Showstopper online suggests playing it a bit more slowly. Now is going to dash his way forward. I mean,
sayang banget anjing.
No guarantees.
Yeah, the same output. No, it's a meat grinder. As New-turn have already lost 2. Penny with the opposite angle of garage. She's a shoulder, not going to land.
Anjing, wow.
The cosmic divide is going to come out. Zelsus quietly playing in the back corner, has not been spotted. The alarm bot helps, but Zelsus lands a kill looking for a second.
Nice banget anjing. Nice banget Suggest. Anjing Suggest.
And that was a heck of a way forward.
And then
Tangsel.
Douglas, like hardly any information grabbed, and you use one of the most impactful ults, blind again, but then they outshoot the round. But at that moment, that almost feels like, all right, we're out of options. Do this. And that becomes a little scary there for New-turn. But it made Suggest feel comfortable. You can't complain after a round like that. And there it is. New-turn coming alive a little bit here, Doug. They have a lot of work to do.
Kalau comeback, GGWP dah.
Yeah, a little bit of fire lit under them as they get us to a 9-3 half version 1. Now going to test their mettle on the attacking side of the map. The Viper's wall goes up to block off A, and they're actually going to full send B. There's nobody there, Rick. They don't even they have no utility there. They're going to get him for free.
Thank you, Borus.
Nade's a little too deep out. Fault line won't do too much. So it actually stops Penny down as he gets one, though, and the frenzies are pushing forward, Doug.
Absolute chaos. You got to keep an eye. Yes, that was it, right? Like
ini mau story sini ayo story.
James was playing back on the site from downtown, denying any sort of way in. And then the one combo right into the back of the head drops Lakia, picks up another weapon, and then you see the shock dart too. It's not just the snake bite. There's really no way in. Allows gonna have to get through all of the utility that exists, and then the remaining members of E1 just to get a chance at this thing. There's no need.
Ini sumpah kalian nih
Kayak nih gue kasih tahu nih ya, kalau misalkan lagi main Valorant belajar dah line up kayak V1 gini anjir banget tai. Nggak bohong. Nggak anjing.
Still have a flank, still have post plant, lineups from downtown, and more lineups that you cannot, especially around, shoot Sova through that wall. You don't see him, you know, and if you do, you're only going to tag him for a bit of damage. So there's so many things they easily capitalize there, and we saw.
Suka dia lah anjing.
Yes, we did indeed. What do New Turn do in response? No force up. Suggest is the only one with a little extra, a little something packing. As it looks like they have a decent read on what's happening here towards C. They've stacked 3 this way. The Ultra
Penny udah pakai vandal
one step closer to the Blade Storm, and I mean like puppets. Riv, look at that. They just showed a little bit down C long. And mind you, New Turn don't have much to fight with, so they're show off of the first thing they see, but they have fully stacked C here.
Look at the info Vanity's trying to get here. He runs up.
Anjing semuanya stacking ya, handgun semua ya soalnya.
Trying to just get shots out. Now nothing really.
Iya, mereka instingnya kuat banget tuh tadi, pindah langsung.
Info denying themselves. I think we might have heard a shorty go off, and that's not going to give you too much. So
orang biasanya kan kalau bisa masing-masing ada jaga strike.
It looks like they're going to go for what is a B once again.
Gambling sih mau nggak mau mereka tipis.
Mau mati nih bridge-nya nih. Wah, konyol anjing. Kayak nge-cheat anjing Vanity ini. V1.
Cold. Penny on the flank, good for one. But if it's not Effie's, the exact same setup. It was slightly delayed, but the outcome's the same. V1 get to 11 as they dominate on the defense.
Bang, aku dahan ya mau bobo. Oke, Starborus, thank you.
What seems absurd right now, especially on those rounds. If you win first round, I feel like the way version 1 plays it, or the way a team can play it is, you know you can spread a team slightly thin by waiting out the round. They're going to have to at least choose a site, and it's probably not going to be one at B. It's be more of a retake. So to be able to get in there, you will always have the 7 seconds to throw that down, right?
Yep.
And then be able to get out, so your guys who are already on post-plant lineups can do it. They almost have guaranteed rounds there without having to use all.
Thank you, Borus.
Oh man,
just the timing.
The lockdown. Effie's gets the opener into the site. You see the nano storms already coming out. Keep an eye on Jammies. He's playing back.
Belum lah, ini belum panas.
Solo, no.
Kemarin
Solo, the timing was bad. Jammies catches him sleeping. He gets around. They get the kill. They get the spike down on C as well. Now they have control. But they go right into the belly of the beast. Vanity not waiting for New Turn to take the fight to them. He's going in.
This wall gives them so much pressure. The first gun round they go.
Keras banget anjir.
Toxic screen still up. Penny takes a bit of damage, but the positioning they have is great. You can see Suggest.
Saving ala udah nutur.
Which one's gonna flank me first? Because that is the second part. I say second or third or 2A or 2B of New Turn's Vision 1's post plant rather. But yeah, they get out safely. This is good for New Turn to hold some guns for themselves. Things are only getting harder and harder. And there's another one. That's 12 for version 1 here in your the best of 3 series.
I get it.
An early match point as V1 again seemed to be in full control.
Di sini Mabar apa ya?
AFS. Kalau nggak salah di sini split deh.
Again, I mentioned at the beginning of the series that I think
kalau nggak salah lihat ya tadi gue.
Than we saw on Sharks, but man, I am entirely wrong. As we see New Turn call on another tactical timeout, and Riv, I know that we're only 3 rounds in, about to play round 4 the second half, but I mean, at this point, it almost seems like a foregone conclusion.
It does. The way that version 1 has been reading, honestly, you got to give them credit for this. The way they're reading on New Turn, playing around them, finding the... honestly, for the first few rounds, I think it was as well version 1 out shooting those instances, right? All those sheriff shots in the beginning to start capitalizing on bankrolls. And now you can't even chip away at that bank account for 2 or 3 rounds, 4 rounds. So knowing they had that up gave them confidence. They pushed a little bit more. The walls they have been putting up on defense from Jammies were successfully encroaching more and more onto the attacking side, giving New Turn less room to even start with. And that just, it feels weird. You feel suffocated if you're New Turn when you're starting your strats, because you're saying, oh my God, they're just going to push us. They're just going to do this. Let's wait and turtle, which turtle, again, does not mean you're scared. You're reading the play and see what they're doing. And version 1 continue to find the success out of those plays, even if New Turn stays back in turtles, because they're holding. You know, New Turn will always have to come to you. But now on the other side, we'll see what New Turn can do on defenses. Version 1 has to come to them.
I will say the one like silver lining so far that we've seen from New Turn is that Suggest is on one today. He's like big boy on one. He's had multiple multi-kills. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if we can pull up the stats, but I'm sure he's by and large bragging out for New Turn. I think Suggest has played really well, but otherwise it's just been a bit,
I mean,
left
the guy has a
wanting.
33% headshot out of Korea. I know Scream is 36-ish at the highest, so like quiet. Like I said, you know, you think of Allow, you think of Lakia, but Suggest is quietly one of the best players on this team.
Oh, dude. So they showed this exact look against Sharks. It was the breach flash,
Hello,
it was the
Alia.
Allow dash down C-long, and it was met with, I mean, I think they got a little bit more out of it when they tried to get Sharks. Wisely waiting it out. They don't push in aggressively. They don't get caught with the flash. They just wait it out, and then they respond in kind. Now they're pushing it a bit more aggressively. Playing in his focus.
Memang tadi gue bilang AFS ya?
Oh no! Vanity swings, drops parry like a bag of rocks as V1 continue to creep their way onto C. Zelsis leading the way. Oh, Solo! Solo's got a judge of his own. If it's not him, it's Lakia. As Solo with 2 shells left, no, he's gonna get dropped. Lakia looking for a bit of action as well, as he and Suggest are the last ones that remain. Suggest has to wait out the lockdown. That's gonna give Zelsis a bit of breathing room. And now Suggest with the Vandal in a 1v2. As the spike continues to tickle.
Iya, lagi main Aste deh, Alia.
His entry, but no, that should be enough info on where he's coming from. The alarm bot is going to come out as well. But even then, you see Jamies has played off. He's playing off side.
Lihat nih Viper ada ngentot banget anjing.
There's the snake bite as well.
Viper pitnya tuh juga lama banget tai hilangnya.
Try to flush Jamies out. There he is. Suggest trying to land the shots. Oh, V1
GG.
Things look good for New Turn. They take care of business.
GG.
One vibing throughout the entire thing from start to finish. The few rounds they lost, they were able to recuperate, and the bleeding was never that bad. New Turn again, feeling a bit shaky on Haven.
Boleh.
Honestly, yeah, you're one map down, but I don't think that affects them too much.
Nah, mapnya Nuturn.
Might been one of those maps. We have Ascent next. One of the better maps for New Turn as well. Haven is one of their favorites.
Tapi kemarin Nuturn tuh lawan Sharks anjir.
Oh iya.
And their strats weren't coming to fruition, and mainly because version 1 continued to shut it down one by one, or not allow New Turn into a site with their full squad.
Yeah, I think that last round, even this one that we're looking at right now, like, Suggest played that right? Like, understanding that he's going to have to play around that utility, the Vandal. I don't know that the Vandal gets that kill, by the way. But using that Phantom super well to control the spray, to land the shots. And what I was saying was, in my opinion, Suggest played that as best as he could have, right? Invest the Roomba down C-long to try to put Jamies in an uncomfortable situation. The tap was there, and it drew out the snake bite, forcing the utility of Jamies out to try to get past it, because there was enough time, right? Like, there was still enough time on the spike for him to make a play. But then at the end of the day, the V1 sub shows up in a big way and lands the shots. I mean, V1 Riv, from top to bottom, they seem to do no wrong on this map.
They come out this strong each and every time, and they get to use a few of their strats. Their defensive setups with the Viper walls only change slightly, but they play each round much differently. I think that's one of the awesome things about V1, is that mind of Vanity works in so many ways, even if you think you're looking at the same thing from top down. So I wonder what the opposing team has to be thinking when you're seeing the same wall, but always getting a different package. And that's got to be tough for New Turn.
There are just no cues, right? There's nothing to act off of. There's nothing to extrapolate from that. Folks, with this dominant as a performance as V1 had on map 1, we'll see if they can replicate the same on V2, or if New Turn are going to be able to punch back. We're going to cut to a quick break. Not a brick quick. A quick break, and when we return, map 2, don't go anywhere.
Gue coba sekali pakai jet bang, siapa tahu jadi Korean jet. Tangerang jet. Gak mungkin anjir. Gak suka gue pakai jet, gue gak suka yang duelis gitu. Pressure-nya terlalu banyak, gue gak suka di pressure-in orangnya. Extend lah. Kawal Thailand sampai final.
Apa itu?
Serawat lah ya.
Welcome back, everyone. Here it appears that new turn took a
Ambilin ya, ambil Valo.
Yang bota ini namanya siapa, Dut?
Jimmy.
Itu bapak lo. Beda sih. Mirip emang, rambutnya mirip. Namanya jangan disamain dong. Game apa ya yang benar-benar seak tuh benar-benar unggul banget. Dota kagak bisa. Dota Cina sih, Cina deh. Cina gila.
Cina gila sih.
Cina kok di sini nggak ada ya, Dut?
Kayaknya Cina nggak main Valorant deh, tapi belum main Valo deh.
Belum. Price poolnya soalnya belum ini.
Belum
Dut.
gila.
Dota pas Dota, wow. Yang tim baru sekali ikut namanya Wings, Dut. Langsung juara TI6. Padahal baru bikin tim. Bingung gak lu?
Anjing.
Langsung dapat berapa juta dolar.
Ini Nobar Valo atau main Valo? Ini Valo gua cuman buat deathmatch doang. Gua nggak ini.
Lakia tim siapa ya Lakia?
Lakia.
Match found.
Pernah denger tuh gua Lakia?
Nutun.
Deathmatch. Warm up.
Wave 13-15. Oh. Wah, lama. Doi, biar nggak kedinginan, bro. Acen bos. Gila. So gue insecure aja.
Lupa ngasih apa itu? ATU lokal.
ACU lokal. Fruity kan?
Kamu tahu?
Tahu. Kan dia menobatkan ACU lokal.
Iya orang nih. Biasa kan orang yang julukin dia.
Keren makanya dia. Best Fruity. Best Yoru. Best Yoru in Indonesia katanya. Anjir, sama.
I feel something over there. Can't place it. Like us, but fight different. Find the weak point and break it.
Ôi, mà là bạn phải ngồi là mày.
Ore.
Tanda Olah. What a spray control by the Segi. Walah, mak gila banget nih chat anjing. Gila banget player-playernya.
Gua aja yang cupu kali ya. Astaga. Base Yoro alay, dia yang bilang sendiri. Terus apa dong? Dia bukannya menobatkan diri dia Base Yoro juga ya? Siapa ya kalau nggak salah?
One deck.
Ada yang bilang juga kayak udah kayak Yorunya Fruity belum nih? Udah kayak Yorunya Fruity belum nih? Kalau nggak salah ini tuh. Karena export Indonesia deh yang kayak ngomong gitu. Udah kayak Yorunya Fruity belum nih?
Banget ada yang nge-spam di Twitch tuh.
Ya kan? Apa?
Europe Elimination Day.
Brimstone down.
Europe Elimination, Euro Elimination.
That's 3.
Nge-spam anjing.
Alamak. Udah selesai story-nya, yuk sini lagi. Alamak. Xin lỗi căng mình lại, cùng bay chạy gần bay.
Pang mantap.
Weh, Dut, mau ke Thailand gak, Dut?
Enggak.
Makanannya enak-enak, coy.
Salah orang yang mau ngajak.
Enggak, sumpah lu harus explore aja. Nggak boleh hidup lu cuma makan parumbus doang, nggak sehat, kayak.
Parumbus aja jarang.
Ya, atau apalah itu.
Ini, ya Portibuet.
Oh ya itu belum lu pesan-pesan tuh. Selain di DM. Oh, Spike Rush berlaku dong, Spike Rush.
Finished.
ACU lokal.
Enough.
Siapa yang menang? Mau gue sampah nih.
Rift Walker's dead.
Wah. Udah mulai kah? Udah mulai.
Jemis.
Version 1 with the spike and a 2-3 split to start. New turn rather.
Kenapa semua sis?
And we're seeing some of
Kecuali
that. And I
Vanity.
think another thing we need to keep an eye on is that
Penis nggak sis anjir?
investment. Where do they place it? How do they play
Yep.
around
Apa?
it? There we saw top cat, smoke went up, drone was
Oh, kenapa belakangnya Y semua kebanyakan?
and they were able to work their way
Bukan,
through that.
tadi
Now they are
casternya
not
ngomong
investing
Penny
in it.
jadi
From a
penis.
personnel perspective, I mean, look at Penny, dude. He most
Kasaran.
certainly is. Allows trying to hold down market because they've taken that away. But the problem is the rest of the team can't work their way in through garage. The hit's gonna have to go to A because they
That's
couldn't
huge.
find any other entry.
If Allow can stay
Sabar.
alive for even
Lo mau ditungguin gak, Ri? Apa gue main duluan segame?
This position is amazing, but they're going to be able to find him, take him down. Now they start heading to the site here. Celsius.
Wow.
Zelsis with the heroics, he does it again. The burst classic takes care of business. Vanity shows that anything.
Gila di one tap semua anjing. Di right click semua, tai najis banget.
Vanity gets the last, the diffuse.
Disgusting.
When the pistol.
I like the play.
Ayo buruan.
Off the ball, send a few towards B, make them think there's a play over there, find some utility, and then you kind of hard hit A site thinking you might have power in numbers. The start here from what Allow did in middle, if the rest of the team was then set up to instantly execute, that would have been awesome for them. But version 1 just continuously read these mid-round plays super fast.
Vanity mah muter-muter.
Looks like we may.
Kayak gua kan, killjoy-nya sebagus gua kan.
So same utility invested.
Ya,
I think another place that we want to keep
Apa 11-11?
some of that utility there.
Oh, boleh lah. Mirip banget tandanya ya.
The drone is going to clear out the middle. Zelsis swings out and is able to punish the Jester on allow the drone to clear the middle of the map.
Kalau misalkan itunya sama, tapi kalau skillnya nih, kalau aksesorisnya sama, aksesorisnya sama, skillnya.
Not just having an eco round here.
11 tadi.
11 juga.
So does version 1 info deny there and say, okay, we know you're there, right? Sometimes nothing has to happen. It's the pressure. New turn
Cuma beda nasib aja lu berdua.
Everybody's just patiently waiting on version 1 for the new turn.
Mereka demen banget ya force buy anjing, sabar kenapa?
Skillnya persis ya.
Udah kalah shield.
New turn slowly working their way towards middle because in the previous round, as we saw, Penny had wrapped his way around through mid and was behind Allow. Allow got the kill, but you can see them adjusting towards that, expecting that aggression from Penny. This time they get through the middle of the map unscathed. Much different from the previous round. They're not going to be funneling in from the same way. As you mentioned, they have Parry and Wine. They're going to work their way in through Tree onto A, and it looks like for now Vanity's going to be the first line of defense. And what else but the classic, the Judge, man. Vanity and the Judge, name a better duo. Lakia looking to get the spike down, but with 11 seconds left, they're going to have to go. Allow control the middle of the map. Jamies punishes him, but the spike goes down.
A few things that shouldn't be happening like those frags going down could allow now version 1 to come in with the better numbers. Flank from Jammies is going to happen. Dart goes in, that's underneath, and shot out. They have an idea where 1 is, Doug. This could be a tough post-plant hold.
Yeah, and then the snake bite was there as well. Parry with the frenzy spotted a little bit of something, but wasn't able to deliver. So V1, they follow, they hold serve. We see what we expect out of them so far. U-turn have managed to, the last couple of rounds, right? Like, they'll show a little. I think we need to keep an eye on that stuff, right? What is U-turn doing? They'll show a little B, they'll exploit the middle of the map, but that's now 2 rounds in a row where they end up back at A, and while it was a slightly different variation of what we saw in round 1, the outcome was the same.
They're playing the numbers game. The lower the clock goes, the better chance you have at having bringing more numbers to a site than the defenders have. That's what new turns do. The clock goes down, you know the defense has rotated out. Chances are you're not going to meet more numbers there. Just the way
boleh.
That's what they're doing. That's what they feel most comfortable.
Boleh, Mikael, boleh.
The game isn't on. We saw that from last map. It's a little bit shaky, possibly. Turns trying to get themselves.
Anjir, itu sedap tuh. Goblok banget anjir Perry ini.
Comfortable here on a save round.
Dude, we can do an analyst segment on that play alone, but we're going to run out of time as Penny took the middle of the map, but solo Sheriff punishes it. I want to take a quick moment. We saw Perry work across with the fake smoke, right? And like that's a space that it buys. It allows you to pass it and leave the question mark on the other team around, okay, did somebody work their way through that or not? But Vanity read it like a book. He knew exactly where he was going to be. And that kill, and that's
Heavy.
That said, V1 still has...
Jago, anjir dia main Siege jago, main ini jago.
New turn is right there on reading version 1, but it's always a step behind. It's Allow following Zelsis. He feels like he knows he's there. V1's always pushing, and they call it right this time. A Spectre pickup now for Suggest. They have 30 seconds left in the round. They're going to have to force it through Tree.
No concern of Killjoy utility as Zelsis is sitting on sideline for the rest of the round.
Oh shit!
Well, leaves them sitting. It's so hard to work your way through that.
Oh gila banget everyone.
Work your way in through there, you're stuck and you get mowed down.
The verdict has been laid down by Vanity.
Gila. V1 ini gila anjir. Kuat gue liatnya anjir.
Having the right numbers, right?
Kan Vito
It's
tadi
whether
mereka
or
bot.
not you're gonna
Ini
be
mereka
in the
udah
right
baik.
site. And
Gara-gara
as I
round 2 mereka
explained it
4.
last round,
2-0 anjing ini mah.
version 1 members at the end of the round.
Tapi belum tentu ya.
It's becoming a pattern.
tentu.
Right now you got to think, how does version 1 have all of these mind bullets they're sending out to read these plays? It's uncanny. Gun round on both sides. We do have the Blade Storm Frenzy from Allow.
You see the Nanostorm and the Gravity Well combo coming out from U-turn at the exit to trees. So there's value. They've invested utility to control that area of the map every single round because they want to work the middle, but they've gotten the middle before Riv and they haven't been able to do anything with it.
And this is an incredibly different setup as well from V1, with now Jammies on the right towards A, all of the util, Sentinel, Initiator utility towards that left side of the site. They're expecting something big here for the gun round, and they want to be able to retake.
Yang
A little
ngeri
bit
tuh
of a lean
mereka tuh main
rotation coming
Viper
out of
anjing.
Effie's here, as they
Viper
reconsider what
ini.
U-turn might be doing. Trailblazer comes through, Doug, and it looks like a small commit here to get some info from New-turn.
Yeah, Zelsis should be able to help him out, though. The shock dart, oh my
Whoa.
gosh, throw all the utility you want
Whoa.
at him, it doesn't matter. As
What
Vanity
mereka.
continues to hold fast, looking for
Bagus
the
lah.
third. Suggests it's just down to crumbs on health, 33 HP. Effie's has shown up as well. It's a party on this side of the map. U-turn don't want to have anything to do with it, as they somehow, through the chaos of the buckshot, walk away with enough personnel and enough health to try to flip the map.
That's a bit of a different look from V1 too. Oh, great job by Allow. They need to open this up as he lands 50 damage.
Oh, gue kira kalau mau song sing kayak di YouTube anjir.
Patipan bro, bukan patipan. Kalau patipan bisa.
Ternyata yang di YouTube Korean Jet itu editan anjing.
Mereka bikin mau nyari klip itu butuh banyak game.
Oh iya anjir.
Dari highlight.
Makanya uploadnya sebulan sekali anjing. Jangan-jangan ranknya Iron lagi ya.
Enggak.
Ranknya Radian, tapi termasuknya di Iron. Jadi biar bisa dapat klip-klip itu. Itu tipu nih Korea.
Back to Sheriffs here. One Phantom as Allow was on Bladestorm last round. But that's 4 already for version 1. They continue.
Allow the only one bringing a rifle into this round. But the play has been the same here.
Wah,
The one difference is Solo like aggressively went in by himself this time.
Mati. Oh.
He's already good for 2.
Pedas anjing.
Oh iya, solo dia.
Solo that version 1 or New-turn needs the fans need right now. As version 1 gets taken out.
Penghinaan Korean Jet. Iya anjir.
We're coming up on a minute left here. New-turn feeling much more comfortable even coming in with this eco round, but
Tiba-tiba kalah nih, nge-throw nih entot.
They are not a moment too soon. They understand, V1 does, that they've funneled their way onto the site. Celsius is alone here as Jamie has not joined the play yet, and because of his desire to get a little bit of info, he gets punished at the hands of Lakia, and it could have actually been with Vanity's judge, of all things.
Yeah,
ironic indeed. As James works his way around, you see that Perry's waiting for it. While he's waiting, not able to land the kill.
Are these the lineups that get it? Oh my word! There's one.
No way, right?
Got another one for Jenny. So he's actually just letting himself know where he doesn't need to look, where he can displace somebody, cutting some angles, but he's not going to be able to do enough as he
Let's go P1, 6-6 lah, tidakkan 6-6 lah.
And now from
setidaknya dapat 1 poin aja. Let's go, NU 1 poin, NU 1 poin. Aku cuma minta 1 poin, udah kalah nggak apa-apa dah, cuma minta 1 poin doang.
Solo grabbing it here, and this is what we saw from Solo in their victories, just cleaning up whoever would be standing in front of him at any time. Allow as well, a great job by New-turn to turn it on this round.
Oh, wallbang lo anjing.
Okey-dokey.
All right, here for New-turn, what do they dial up? Oh man, the spikes on the side of A, and as soon as the gate goes down, Jamie's invests the Viper's Pit to deny any entry into A, and I mean, that's like a hard, okay, we've got to reconsider something. If their plan was to go to A, that just becomes significantly more difficult. Solo does have the lockdown, right? So there's room to create something, and even with the Viper's Pit Rave, it looks like they want to go in anyway. They've taken Cat, they're posted up down A long, they want to work this way.
Look how nobody's moving on version 1. New turn wants information. Now finally getting out of the situation. Tree is taken. Great.
Kok nggak jatuh sih?
Allow and the rest of the team to start this off.
Oh, that's huge. Right,
Viper pillnya. Nice anjing.
James plays it well, but he dies anyway. The secrets are going to come out as well.
Oh, nice banget. Gila.
Is tamed, at least for now.
Oh no.
Because if you want to consider how they want to retake this, they do have a lock.
Ayo dong 66 lah, sedangkan 66.
But Riv, it looks
Apex seru bang.
don't even really want
Nggak ada yang bilang Apex seru, cuman kamu doang yang bilang Apex seru.
They throw a lockdown in, and Lakia says, "I'm going to take that out with my heart."
Uff.
So holding for now.
Penny.
And New Turn doing a great job there at working
This
together now.
Penny guys so fucking good.
When he had the judge, and it was one by
Shoot
one,
left, right.
feeling more comfortable, trusting each other. They're right behind each
The
other.
way he wants
That's how you saw
it.
Allow and one other take tree as they were taking that long as well. Look at, they're so happy. Just dancing back by Gelato, getting a quick order in before the next round. And New Turn showing signs of life much earlier here in map 2 to start shutting down version 1.
much earlier, Riv, and they needed it. If you track back to the previous round, to the previous map to Haven, they'd lost 8 rounds in a row, right? Before they'd won that round. So you can feel like the pressure, and yeah, the map has changed, but for New Turn, they needed to will themselves out of the catacombs that they were in from a mental perspective to work your way into a better, more advantageous position. And so far, that's what New Turn has been able to do. A heavy stack towards B. They've got Gravity Well, or excuse me, they have Astra Stars. Back towards B, denying information coming in from the defender spawn. It looks like they're going to try to hit B here, and we haven't seen a full hit here. They've tried Riv, but they just haven't been able to get past what you want to set up here.
This is the first time version 1's kind of playing their own wall push towards mid. I think the spam comes through from
Untuk di Korea emang nggak ada ya wallbang kayak gini ya? Kayaknya di Korea ini orangnya jujur semua anjir mainnya.
He did get spotted by the alarm bot from solo, or turret from solo just then, so he's
spot yang biasa anjir.
That's gonna force New Turn to have to double down on A.
Oh ya, halo Kang, kalian gue bosan hidup kan? Nggak juga sih, nggak bosan juga sih.
Look at how version 1 changes up just a little bit of the strategy, a little bit of the placement when the gun rounds come back around, knowing they have to hit back on that economy, go for the throat of New Turn, and version 1 is just able to make these slight changes that are not allowing New Turn the ground they want to take control. Still, the possibility to take this one, if they can get the spike plant in. Lakia does have the Hunter's Fury, but it seems so far away at this point. And a shoulder shot to allow is going to drop another one. It tiles on the map.
The kid doesn't miss, man. Penny just doesn't miss. It's just not fair. Now we look at how Perry has to work the most scenic of scenic routes to try to get back to
gila jenis ini anjing.
Presence that Vanity showed early on. Perry has to respect the possibility that somebody has worked in through the attacker spawn and was wrapping in on them. Now Perry's going to be able to get away. He's going to keep the rifle. He stays alive, which is great. But you see just like those small moments, right? Like that small bit of presence destroying the turret really kind of puts them in a tizzy.
Just this push right here, let's say it. There's 2 pushed up in mid. You have information on tiles, no rotation. Information going up cat, no one's on A yet, so you only need to leave 1 on A. The way version 1 is able to distribute themselves and get the return on investment they are with info, with frags, is just making it so hard for New Turn to do anything. Let's see here. This time it does not look like they want to be stalled and allows in the site to start.
Oh gosh. Dude, the flash, the spear, and it's instantly stripped off as he drops. You see Lakia drops his
kayak mainnya kayak apa ya?
And now New Turn find themselves
in
B. All right. B didn't work, so I guess it's probably more like plan mid or plan.
Okay. Oh my word.
Bang, asalkan lu tahu siapa itu?
Perry takes down Jammies with the Phantom. And we're looking to see what he can do. Again, you know, Perry always
gini enak lo bakal kebab. No.
Form, but it makes
gue lagi diet, bro.
He cannot regroup with the team due to what version 1 is making happen here. It's going to be a little soiree at the cafe. Almost.
Oh, mati nih.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That is a hell of a hedge. Effie's takes down Perry there with the Odin. And they continue to run the map now with a few rounds in their favor. It should be again. Another save coming out. We'll see what happens if they decide to fully save up for a few rounds of buy to come back on to.
Gue masih makan nasi, tapi kalau malam gue udah gak makan lagi.
That's 2 rounds in a row where Perry.
Gue minum susu Herbalife namanya.
In order to keep their finances in a better spot, the previous round
No.
just played, but the one before
No.
But this time they had to drop it. So you see investment.
Lagi diet ketat. Mau turunin sampai 85.
On the side of Neutron, I think this is a pivotal time too, because this half is still salvageable. Right? You also have Hunter's Fury, you have the Cosmic Divide, but
bukan, tai hamster itu mah herbal anjir, itu mah obat buat sakit tenggorokan.
Smaller every round.
Soalnya Herbalife pengaruh.
There's a few saving, there's a few buying armored up. I feel like
makan beras merah. Gak suka gue makan beras merah.
Yeah, you have this, that kind of works. There is full util around.
Kayak apa ya? Kayak gimana ya? Kayak kurang afdol aja gitu.
As soon as somebody like that what are you doing to me? I guess we're just chatting. They haven't purchased yet. But I was wondering if they're going to save, if they're going to do these rounds. We saw when version 1 played Liquid, it was a slugfest on some of those maps of partial buys, keeping the econ going. And it's good to see that.
Gila, gue masih 27 anjir, gue tuh ngincar 30 soalnya mau masukin Meta Knight anjir.
Keeping it safe here, they're all together on the buy as they get a tactical timeout going through. And let's talk about what we might.
Biar bisa masukin satu Meta Knight itu udah kelar.
When they keep going up, they keep getting stopped by only a few bits of utility, and it seems more like that is based on not confident on going in the site rather than everybody going in, right? Only allow pass through of Viper toxic screen on the last one. Everybody else could have basically passed through. They don't dash, but you're there. It just seems like that a bit of disjointedness for them is really, really hurting them.
Yeah, I would have to agree completely. And again,
they got to keep going with their util.
They have to, right? And again, it's just a point I was making earlier. It seems like Neutron understand the gravitas of the moment. They have to invest in rifles.
Bukan, beda Kevin. Bukan, nasi merahnya bukan seperti itu.
They've got the Hunter's Fury, and this is a slightly different look, right? This time they're looking to work the middle of the map. Penny from the top rope, going fishing.
Kang yang dulu sudah terkubur lama ingin membangkitkannya.
They already V1 already has a considerable amount of information from droning through garage, so they know there's no heavy hit coming that way. The spike is making its way towards it.
Ikuti cara ini. Anjir lagi ngetik tuh anjir.
I wanted to see something a little different, and maybe it's off the backs of the Hunter's Fury from Lakia.
Ya udah kalau gitu gua nggak bawa ini ya. Gua nggak bawa si Trump sih.
And version 1 seeing these stars early means they're a bit in position as well. Neutron with the aggression, 3 from A long as they head into the site, but a molly takes down Suggest.
You just can't work your way in, right? There's no entry between the gravity well, between the nanoswarm, between the snake bites, between everything they throw at him. It's so hard to manage. Lakia's Hunter's Fury clearing out a little bit of space. Penny goes fishing. No, Penny doesn't land it. It looked like he thought he was done, but Lakia takes care of business. Allow gets 2 of his own, tries to get the 3rd, not able to do so. The lockdown coming out. And Solo has to run for the fences. Maybe he's... Oh, no.
Here's the bait. Can they bait him? Can they bait him? Lineups are there.
No, they're patient. Zelsis on the defuse. Gets it to half, but drops. Lakia looking to make a little magic happen as the dark gets cleaned up. Effie's alone in a 1v2. Oh my gosh! Effie's does it again! Are you kidding me?
Effie's ini gila anjing.
I hope everybody has their earplugs in the studio right now. That is just absurd. The unthinkable from Effie's once again in the Odin transfer as he is standing in a family photo. They were looking at him dead in the eyes, and he's able to pull it off here. Absolutely something else.
Dude, how?
Oh my god.
The best Red Bull clutch we've seen.
Nggak usah gitu kan ya.
That was just out of control.
Reminds me of Leafs when their teams were playing Cloud9 Challengers. Oh my word.
Operator in the hands of Penny again. You see the willingness that Neutron have in investing utility to clear out top cat, but much like we've mentioned,
Ini
so
Odin
far in
harus
this
dikeluarin
half,
anjing.
they haven't been able to do anything with that. And Riv, you kind of wonder with the such a big momentum play, like what we just saw out of Effie's, you can almost, it's easy to feel the air just kind of sucked out of them. How do Newturn respond?
It's tough. And Doug, look at this strat set up on defense by version 1. Sova's out of B site now. Anybody runs down lane, you run into a toxic wall, sonar bolt comes over, and you're supposed to be able to see who's in the site, but it's all going a little too slow there. There's the return by version 1.
Yeah.
And now they're looking. It's going to be real tough for Zelsis here. Great job by Newturn to pull it back.
Yeah, I think the other key thing to remember there in that moment was Effie's had the Hunter's Fury, right? And he was playing off-site. You can actually see Vanity's about to walk right past the scene of the
Coba tahan
So he
nafas.
was set up to try to invest that Hunter's Fury to control the site, to try to stop things from going the other way.
30 menit. Pasti banyak orang yang datang ke rumah lu. Ngapain?
All right.
Nggak bakal gue terima mereka datang ke rumah gue.
Out of Newturn, right? Like they
Gue suruh pulang semua.
especially given how Effie punched him in the mouth. That was an excellent response from Newturn.
Get the blood flowing for the team.
Gue bawa Meta Knight nih, gue bawa Meta Knight.
For Newturn, if they can keep themselves up in these rounds, maybe start focusing a few orbs. They're resorting to the 3-2 each time. They feel like that's been working for them to feel something out, keep everybody protected, and have a flank watched by at least one side. You can see this right there, and they do have lockdown. Hunter's Fury is there for Effie's. Again, an answer from version 1 possibly for this round. So can Newturn find a way to get that ult out? Can they start making version 1 respect the agency and the control that Newturn's trying to get around the map? Well, there's an answer right there.
And look at the
that
stylistic...
was just out of Effie's.
Well, like, look at the stylistic difference there, right? They know that Solo has the lockdown. Oftentimes you'll see a Hunter's Fury kept as like an ace in the hole as a counter to that lockdown, especially when you're on defense, to stop teams from being able to easily take the site. But Effie's invests that early on to try to clear out some space, and it was all off the back of how well they've read Newturn, right? Like they thought they had a bead on where Newturn was going to be.
The judge there for Vanity. Not to mention how much money
Nggak paham kau maksudnya apa.
Pockets is buy that.
Gue nggak paham itu maksudnya apa.
Making a bit of noise as they drop in, but there's the ult we were expecting. Let's see if they can set this one up. See, they're waiting, but now the smokes are an afterthought. Everything's a bit slower. Here come the Viper bites, and everybody's going to take a bunch of damage and vulnerability when they come through. It just seems like it's not on pace for what needs to be happening versus version 1.
I've got your trail. 30 seconds
Seeker's
left.
coming out as well. This Vanity somehow stays alive. Oh, and the Viper's hit's coming out as well, but Allow somehow has made his way deep into the belly of the beast undetected. Jamie's playing around his own Jello. No, he's gonna drop. That's off the board as Allow tries to stay alive. There's Vanity's judge taking care of business again. Perry clearing things out. Penny
Kacau anjing.
pushing his way in through tree.
Terlalu nafsu anjir. NU tuh terlalu merasa anjing gue jago banget nih. Gue kalahin dah.
Setup here. Perry has to stay alive. That's so difficult to deal with. Solo's in a great spot as well. This is
Mati ini kalah lagi.
situation for Newturn. The tap starts. Solo good for one. Not able to get the second. That's going to leave Perry on an island. In a 1v2, the Cloudburst buying a little bit of time. Penny gets it to half. Penny drops. Perry in the 1v1. And I don't know that Effie's has enough time. He's got to stick the fight to him right now. He gets it, but is he going to get enough time for the defuse? No, he's not even going to try. Excellent response from Newturn.
Oh, the difference in the rounds are very touch and go, and Newturn is there on the edge to take one for themselves. But they are able to capitalize, Doug, and that's the only thing that matters at the end of the round. Newturn comes back to view here. Well done to just stop and not allow V1 in. For some reason, they always solve the puzzle. They decipher what you're doing. Vanities comes in, kills a few. The double team on Cat, and then no one peeked. No one bought into the fake fight, the 1v1s, and Perry came up big. He's been waiting for his moment, and he solidified one there.
That boy's cold, ice in his veins, a desperately needed Red Bull clutch coming out of Newturn there. As we mentioned, Riv, at the half, like, this is still a very salvageable round. That was a pivotal moment where they needed to make adjustments, and it seems like they've been able to capitalize a bit off of some of that momentum. A 7-5 half, given how the beginning of this map went, that feels like a win.
Beautiful push in. Newturn vibing now. Feeling pretty good as they make their way into A once again.
You are divided.
That's the ultimate coming in from Astra. Cosmic Divide is there, and Allow is going to take a front row seat to heaven.
Oh, wow. The shock dart was there, and the judge was there as well. And you look at Solo. Solo's off the play right now. He's still on top cat because he's worried about that. He was worried about Penny. Now they have to push their way through. The Cosmic Divide just narrowly keeping a member of version 1 alive. For new turn, Vanity has already tapped it. They started, but they're pulling off. Lakia has the Hunter's Fury, but Effie's is going hunting. Lakia's already good for 1, but Perry read it like a book. He was playing in 1.
Oh, nice.
Hunter's Fury. Penny gets it to half. But I don't
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
7-5 half. What a shift, Riv.
Iya, besok Sabtu.
Such a big fan of Lakia's ults. The mechanic.
Jam 1 siang,
you didn't see it. He pulls the ultimate up from the ground, so it's hidden until the final moment when your opponent can see it. That actually caused
Let's go. Penny win, it's in my ear and in my heart.
We'll see if we can see it, but you're right. It's
Anjir itu ultinya udah mau habis tai.
That like hides where the trajectory is. That hides.
Santuy, santuy.
Second to try to dance around that.
Mereka
Very
lagi
beautiful
ulti
by
Killjoy tapi mereka nge-push.
Seeing the name switch in the top right, and then Penny be back on right. I was like, wait, okay, what? It gets you. It gets you. 7-5 here as they start off, and hey, wouldn't you know, that's an A.
And dude, like version 1 plays so hard on this like post-plant utility that Jamie's that entire entry was not even close to the site, right? Like
let's go! Let's go, Newton!
And Newton handled that with ease. I think if
let's go, Newton!
It's just totally leaving Jamie's off of the entry. Like
let's go, Newton!
That pistol suggests that may not work.
Let's go, Newton!
Perry waiting. Very good. Thrust, Perry. Ah, yes. Just what a round from him. They're feeling it now. Now, for a moment, I mean, you never doubt yourself, but you're like, why can't I shoot? Why does it feel like I should be hitting these shots, but not? It's a very dangerous spot to be in. New turn, shaking all those cobwebs off. Now they're feeling it. This is the game we wanted to get in this series.
Lift dulu.
Map 3 for this. Allow's going to be pushing forward to start things off here on the second round by.
Yeah, considerable gun advantage in
gila. Gila Allow. Allow.
About as well. As you would expect, continues to pile it on. A prime flawless round for Neutron as we're tied up with 7 apiece. Now version 1 are going to have better weaponry. This is still a great bonus round for Neutron, so you even question like,
ayo deh satu dah, yang mana ada? Yang mana ada yang satu dah? Aing terima dah.
Stuff to say, but for V1, they're going to have a little bit to fight back with here.
Little Prime Gaming flawless. And it was quick. I think as well, you know, Prime Gaming flawless is good to see come in, but for new turn, that feels good. Confidence again in the fact that what they're doing is working. A little Naisu around the board, and they're ready. We're all tied up on
Kimchi Topoki.
Suggesting Lakia both have rifles. Spectres the rest of the way.
Kimchi Topoki. Kimchi Topoki. Kimchi Topoki. Kimchi Topoki. Kimchi Topoki. Kimchi. Kimchi Topoki. Kimchi Topoki.
They've made presence across the middle of the map. They've shot down the wall.
And I love the wall that they use over here, V1. They've been using utility windows, and by that I mean when
aduh, ngapain sih maju-maju ngentot?
Their shots, those small windows to find small frags.
Aduh, nge-whiff lagi dia ngentot.
Now trying to recuperate what could be Effie's body.
Oh my god, that's so fucking stupid, man.
The site, and he was really kind of flanked in. Lakia had to go nuts there for new turn, but now version 1 have full control of the site. You see Allow and the remaining members of new turn starting to mosey their way over, but as they walk over, they just kind of get mowed down. Perry, again alone, on the opposite side of the map, has to save a weapon, or attempt to save a weapon to try to get into the next round, because they're not going to have much else to work with, Rev.
Kimchi ya, sawi putih.
Again, feeling that confidence in the first shots. as they make their way into the sites with a decent amount of utility.
Jangan
Again,
telepon
next
lagi.
for watch round. Next round, watch for version 1 having Jammies off by himself with that wall, just an info grabber. Vanity, the rest of the team will mill about the map, and they'll find themselves something that feels like success that allows them to go to the next thing. Beautiful audio shot and prediction there coming out of perhari. See if he can do a little bit more damage here. This would actually help a lot. Armor off. Armor off is a big help. It's another grand, so at least they get a little bit there. Nice job by perhari at the end.
Oh, Lakia, again, Lakia was in a really good spot here, and he almost caught Effie's, right? When they first caught each other, it was a swing out. Effie's had utility out. Lakia needed to get that kill to control that area of the map on the hit onto B. Wasn't able to do so. Slightly different Viper wall here. Coming out from Jammies and an op in the hands of Allow.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing about this op, and it's he's got some armor.
Ya, bapering anjing, bapering.
He's got like a bikini armor on. He's got half. He's good though. He's not a naked opper. And we'll see a quick shot to start things off towards tiles. That's going to alert version 1 that there's an op on the board. So now they might want to close these angles and use a bit more util to push whatever that op angle might be on the side of Newturn's defense. Jammies already pushed up behind that necessary flash.
Anjing gercep banget anjing, kayak shot.
He's grabbing info, letting him know what he sees.
Iya anjir.
Make it happen across the map.
Hunter's Fury coming up from Effie's to clear out tree, and then it's going to follow shortly thereafter.
Tek anjing.
Gonna have the first
Oh,
fight.
nice.
The flash was there. The flash
Nice.
everything. Version 1 are stuffed.
Nice.
Hold fast. They
Nice.
go down.
Nice banget.
Effie's is
Nice
alive,
banget.
so it's
No.
quietly into that good night as they put up one hell of a fight.
And they read this so nicely with what was happening around the map. Again, quietness from version 1. Newturn said power and numbers towards A as they slowly put all their util into position to shut down what version 1 was trying to do.
30 seconds left.
Looks like they won't get too much more use out of Effie's. They may try to push him at the end here. But we're possibly seeing Newturn be able to start to control the economy game if they can get enough off of version 1 over the next few rounds. And that's going to be pivotal because version 1 right now just are on top of the fundamentals. They're on top of the plays overall. So every little bit that Newturn can get back here is very big.
Gila, Newturn very impressive.
Now, one other thing that I want us to keep an eye on, because we saw it earlier in the half, and that seems to be a pivotal conditioning area for really both sides, is the middle of the map. In the previous round, there was an alarm bot smack dab in the middle. You see it on the minimap that never got triggered, so there are a few things to think about here. Number one, version 1 don't know exactly the spot of that, right? Like, so it's not like they can drop a shock dart from far away to clear it out. And Newturn still have, it's the exact same spot. You see it, right? There's no reason to change that around. They can control that area of the map with relative ease. They don't have to worry about it because that alarm bot hasn't gone off. Now for V1, they're hard going A-Riv.
And they have the off too. On the side of defense, not positioned. It's over towards B here for Allow. So this could be a hard retake. Oh, this beautiful job so far by Newturn getting back into these sites. See if they can do it again. The flashes have been what has successfully got them the frags, and perhari's there alone to get 2.
Riv, this is the exact same look that we saw from V1 on the pistol. Jammies was in the
Oh,
same
gila
spot.
anjing.
The investment that they made
Oh, gila, solo KR ini gila anjing. Anjing, dia bisa ngebantai V1 sendiri anjing, solo Korea.
And leave Jammies off, and Newturn just handle it so well. That's the second time they try that.
Let's go. 2-1 dah, 1-1 dah, udah tenang hidup gua anjir.
Being red. That's usually what happens when you say, wait, where did the initiation from version 1 go? Because the plays were red. The shock bolts, the sonar bolts didn't give any info, and this is what it looks like when Newturn is then able to shut down a V1 strategy.
No!
They know it. They're feeling it. And they just need to
Nice, arigato gozaimashita. Kamsahamnida, kimchi tteokbokki.
Make sure it's a bit more successful for them. And you can see version 1 now wants the tactical timeout, since those rounds seemed like the most chaotic rounds for version 1 in the entire series so far.
Anjing kalau misalkan
Have won 4 of the last 5. They look really good on this half, and hopefully We have this awesome stats dude in the background who's making our jobs infinitely easier. He makes us look way smarter than we actually are. But I want to confirm, I believe this is the first time that Newturn have the lead. Yeah, this is the first time they have the lead the entire map.
V1 Newturn, V1 Newturn.
I was statsing that one out as we went along, and it's wild. Honestly, with the caliber of both teams coming in, the preparation we've seen from them on each map that they play, and these agent compositions that they come through with. I think, you know, always seeing Newturn run this same composition, maybe the homework was done. Version 1, you can start to say the same thing once they got jammies. They haven't switched up too much. But it does seem like the sub is not affecting version 1 whatsoever because of the way they play jammies. On the side of the map, if he does lose a 1v1, it happens, the info's grabbed, and Vanity's still running a strat here. So we'll see if, now looking at Newturn's side, what their setup is, how they would be able to stop what's happening here from version 1 as we get back in. And a lot of the stars are towards that A side. Again, coverage on what they have towards that alt orb is a lot of what they like to do, knowing the other team isn't successfully building themselves up for free and getting a little bit of pressure and knowledge of what could start at A here. So 5 seconds in, looks like we will get a little back and forth on the A alt orb.
Pulling them in.
Trading gravity wells, but the one difference is that Newturn hit a little bit harder.
Pulling them in.
Allow has the op Celsius worked his way forward to try to get
yeah,
you got it. Causes Celsius.
Sing ling 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 ling.
Same. So you mentioned Riv at the beginning of the round, the ult orbs and how important they would be this round. Both of them have already been collected, and now V1 with the Blade Storm, they've got the opportunity to reset. Right, they've plenty of time, but they did lose Celsius. But
right. And that play, honestly, might have just been a good mind game by Newturn. Usually you see Suggest at A, so you're not expecting a quick flash to come around the corner, but Suggest being at B, Newturn to divvy up where they play each other, but Penny says, we'll take one right back.
Penny already good for one. They make the noise, they get the kill, and then they get the heck out of dodge. You see him flipping the map. Penny looking for a bit more as now he works his way up the middle. Now there's that alarm bot I mentioned earlier. That's going to give some away, and the door's down as well. It's so hard to get through that when you don't have the weaponry. Penny's just going to say goodbye to him. Good for one, good for two.
Anjing Penny ini ngentot serem banget tai.
88 health, but they're hunting. They know where Penny is. They're out looking for blood. Solo just slowly, patiently waiting. The onus is on Penny. How patient is he not able to land the burst? He was clear, but Effie's what the Sheriff does, and it's gone absolutely as we all predicted, right? At the beginning of this round, somehow...
Oh my god! Oh my god, Thrifty kan! What? Thrifty anjing! Newturn tactical lah, Newturn tactical timeout lah, udahlah. Otak mainnya kayak gitu anjir.
It's not a coin flip, it's just Penny coming through, making it happen when these rounds.
Udahlah kotak.
Need to go for the throw on economy, right? If they're going to start building up a bit of bank, let's hit them harder than they're going to hit us, and that's what version 1 brought into the fight. I love the play from Newturn too. The dart over that Astra smoke to kill everybody coming through, but version 1 again adapting to the situation.
This map certainly has been back and forth. It seems like neither team is ready to go away quite yet. For version 1 here, while it's been rocky, I mean, really, with the exception of 2 rounds, it's been Newturn the entire way.
Yeah.
They're looking to work the middle of the map. There are 2 players from Newturn that are already there. You just saw Loud dash his way out.
Iya, platingnya harus bagus, coy.
Strictly info grabbing for V1.
Biar menarik lihatnya.
Suggest waiting.
Soto, aku kasih kece-kecean dikit juga mahal jadinya nanti harganya.
Yeah, look at that. They know, right? Newturn started to rotate off. You saw Perry pull the stars back because they know at this point that the hit's going to be towards A, and then that's a confirmation. Look at Lakia just used the dart in B to make sure that nobody was pushing up. Now they can fully commit towards the A side of the map.
Ayo. Solo.
Is as well. Solo, good for
oh, nice banget anjing. Keculik satu.
Over there and wine, Dougie, he gets it.
Oh, nice banget anjing. Oh, nice banget, Tok.
You know, Version 1 think there would still be some people there. Great job by New Turn to mix it up once again. 13 seconds onto this, and it looks like it's going to fizzle out for...
Please, jangan mati. Skuy-nya, please, jangan mati. Oh, fuck. Oh, nggak ada waktu ya.
In the air.
Nggak ada waktu.
And Zalstis is going to hang out here.
Nggak ada waktu.
New Turn is really starting to find their groove. I think what we saw happen on Haven, most of all, was as version 1 took the lead, New Turn got into a phase of a not wanting to lose play style. And when you play to not lose, you're not aggressive. You're not controlling. You're not doing things that are regular to what you would see for New Turn. Here, they're playing to win. Once again, back in the driver's seat, feeling confident about their plays, and we're seeing a much different New Turn, the one we expected to see coming into the series.
Dikatain dikit kan, kita panas-panasin dikit, kita katain Korean Jet. Panas dia langsung.
From both squads, and V1 just hasn't really been able to find a way in, Riv. Like New Turn, they've read them, they've been a step ahead of them for the majority of this half, and look at the space that Solo's taking away, ensuring that Lakia can get the Hunter's Fury, get that ult to bring that ultimate online. Now they have an even more powerful tool at their disposal, making things look even more bleak for V1 here. And they've lost Penny already.
Slow move up. Orb's already been confiscated. 4 ults on the side of version 1, 3 up here on the side of New Turn. All of those quite impactful for a site take. Still, wall put up on the right side. That push up though from Perry gives them a great idea that they can start leaning over towards B. We see Suggest again for New Turn back onto Cat, and this looks like it's going to be the execute coming in, and Allow is ready.
Allow already taking care of Jamie. Suggest waiting for Vanity as well, getting a taste of his own medicine as the judge cleans him up. And again, for version 1, just not a whole lot of room to work with, not a whole lot of room to breathe. New Turn's defenses have held up very well. Of course, as I say that, Effie's gets to drop Solo and Allow.
What the fuck?
Riv, they've gotten onto the site. They also have the lockdown at Zalstis. That's going to give them a bit of room to breathe, but no, Suggest cleans up one. He is going to be able to get the spike down. Oh, but the timing! Oh, the timing! Zalstis just narrowly gets it down.
Gila, bikin panik aja lu,
We've got a map. Absolutely we do. That's going to be closer on deck. Seekers for Suggest. Great retake. Confident play there. Version 1, you can see just how scary these rounds can be for New Turn with people just coming up with 2-3Ks on these site takes at the last moment. So New Turn reacting so well to these instances where they might be down in numbers immediately or even in numbers and then playing it to their favor. Boop. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Some gentleman's warfare. Yell nice. That's what we love to see. I love everything we've been getting out of the player cams. It's so fun to watch these players look like they're having a blast here. A little bit more so on this map than the last one, I'd say. As they have, like you said, 11-9 and close to that game point.
Yeah, and V1, they have a mixed buy here. You see a couple of Spectres and a couple of Sheriffs, so not what they're going to want to bring into this thing. And you kind of feel that pressure as New Turn, at one round away, from being on map point. This is a pivotal round for V1. Somehow looking to pull a miracle out of the magic.
Seledri itu enak buat dimakan mentah-mentah gitu sih. Kayak lu cuci dingin-dingin gitu, makan seledri enak. Tapi kalau peterseli lebih untuk ke garnish doang sama ada batangnya enak, tapi buat lebih ke sop.
And you see this wall grow through it. It is a save round. I don't know if they'll try to execute it here. Allow coming up almost 2 as Effie's and Penny.
Low banget tuh anjing.
They've already invested the Hunter's Fury. What more are they willing to invest as they're getting mowed down? But things are really being traded back and forth. Vanity's alone. For one. Vanity, the captain of version 1, trying to make some impact. Oh my gosh, Vanity, a Red Bull clutch and a damn good one.
Stupid anjing.
What a response from North American representatives.
Wah, stupid banget ngentot.
Honestly, Cat Ears leading the team, calling the shots.
Wah, gue benci banget sama Vanity ini ngentot.
Holy moly, the pressure's on and it just
bullshit
feels
anjing.
like ankle weights for him, nothing more.
Down A.
Just the consideration in the Spectre Dwarbala. You know what I mean, Doug?
I do.
Kayota. Let's go. 11 to 10 here, new turn. Like you said,
Iko
the
kan
economy's
mereka.
gonna be a bit in shambles, but we'll see if new
Mantap.
turn can right
Kan
the ship.
kontol
Everyone's
anjing.
finding a way to do it.
And look, they're dialing up something a bit more aggressively here, understanding they have new turn on the ropes as they're going to try to dash their way in, but the Hunter's Fury coming out from
Hilang
Lakia,
satu.
looking to equalize things, suggests
Hilang
playing down
dua,
low.
hilang
He's going to
tiga.
get dropped as V1 fully crack that bad boy open like an egg.
Hilang
You've got
4.
Solo on the flank,
Mantap.
but you've got Jamie's just a step ahead. As
Nice,
Lakia is
nice,
left
nice.
alone. Now, yes, all he had was classic, but I think you
5.
really have to stress the importance of the previous round. As we mentioned it, from a financial perspective, that very well could
Ku
decide the match in the series.
One of the
menangis.
most impactful rounds for sure.
Ada
The
ulti, ada Viper
fact
Pit.
that it has been twice now, even more times throughout the series, that V1's able to just
Aku
pull it back
maunya
on
satu-satu, pokoknya satu-satu dulu dah.
down in money. Penny from his
Aku
signature box
kalau
from
misalkan
the
bisa
other day there,
NU dah yang menang,
right
NU.
under the feet of his opponent.
Iwan kalah ya.
Clutches that as well. I should say gets the round for the team. 11 to 11.
Ayo dong.
As we enter round 23. Ultimates up for a few on each side. The Seekers and the lockdown could be imperative here for a new turn to retake the site. That Viper wall again over towards A. Just really making new turn think if they're there. Seeing it a few times, they leave it alone. They say, fine, we'll play retake. Killjoy has utility there. And here are the Seekers we see first. How can they work off of these? The smoke in mid may kind of just nullify this, but they know what a slight position of version 1 is now.
Yeah, I think even more than that, Riv, V1 had some aggressive posturing. They wanted to work that way, right? They wanted to work the middle of the map, but the Seekers pushed them back and force them to reset things a bit differently. It looks like they're still considering leaning towards a B hit, a mid-B split. But that certainly buys them time.
Nice ending.
Detected the gravity well's going to come through as well as Penny drops.
Nice.
Perry looking for more, not able to get it.
Nice, hilang 2.
Jammies, the sub comes huge. For V1, is 2 drop on the side of new turn.
Cuk. Yes,
Solo's got to
bagus.
go big, good for 1. Gets traded back out as
Viper ada ulti, ulti. Ulti.
easy
Nice.
access onto A.
Ya.
Nice banget anjing.
So much room
Yes.
to work with as
Nah,
they dance around
aduh.
the generator knows
Dua lawan
Celsius
satu.
comes big as well, and is now Lakia in a 1v2.
Hah?
Lakia's there.
Oh my god. Gila. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anjir. Oh anjing, jumping shot kayak gitu seenak jidat emaknya lah anjing.
Of a swarm, and then he still is able to capitalize on the play. And these are the plays right here, and they realized it was happening when they heard him running. But you were able to fake out every other.
Nice banget anjing, nice banget.
When you are in the minds of your opponents, and you just solve the puzzle so quick. Look at that. Head in hands, Doug.
They're like, dude, what just happened? What just happened? Now new turn's on map point. Blade Storm's online. They do have full rifles, and Riv, 2 judges for new turn.
2 judges for new turn.
Holding a great defense. Divide comes up immediately. The pressure's on from version 1 to see how new turn react.
Lockdown's here. There's no other positioning, so this is not a fake. It really seems like they want to go this way. Penny's going to dash his way forward. Staying alive. On the other side of the Cosmic Divide. Judge
Nice.
not good there, but allows Phantom was. Penny still dances around the smoke, trying to stick the matter to him. As they've gotten the spike down, so far so good, right? They checked that box off, but the thing is, there's no real, no advantageous setup for post plants, right? Like there is no investment of utility that can help them here if things go sideways. They're just gonna take the fight.
Kenapa nggak ada ulti anjing?
He's already good for 1. Looking for a second, no. A whirling dervish of reticles flying around as nobody's able to land the shots. A 2v2 here as things slow down for just a moment. Perry's position's been given away, but they've got to know Vanity's there. The spike continues to tick away. If you're new turn, you've got to go here, baby. Perry drops. It's all on the hands.
Oh my god.
No, he cannot, ladies and gentlemen. Woo, baby,
Enggak, kenapa kajinya nggak ulti anjing?
On that play, and this is what we're getting. Everybody trading on these shots.
Wah, goblok anjing, kenapa KJ-nya nggak ulti? Itu full team 5 lawan 4, mereka pada cawa. Gila lu, goblok banget anjing, nge-throw-nya parah.
Just absolutely forget about it, and now this showing. We see the scoreboard here maybe on the second one, and it's only been a few rounds that version 1 has really been able to pull in their favor here, as it's really been this half coming in.
Di belakang kamu kan dia kan?
Now it's OT, so erase all that.
Rumahku mah aman sejahtera.
Operator in the hands of Penny because of the overtime rules. It means he's not going to have armor.
Right.
She's going to be rocking that glass cannon. See that smoke go up, go down.
Kelihatan dikit.
Riv, I think he saw it. I think he saw the barrel solo's gun. And look at, look at the utility usage from version 1 onto A. I mean, that thing's lit up like a Christmas tree. There's so much there, but Allow somehow gets through undetected anyway.
Please, jangan mati dong, please menang dong.
Here come the darts over just for a bit of damage. The double dart actually.
Please jangan ini dong.
And here comes the rest of the play. Great job by Newturn setting up the post plant. This is going to be a tough one for version 1.
Oh my gosh, and Solo's on the flank as well. They don't move. This may be ugly. Vanity already gets the one, just trades it back out as Effie joins in on the fun.
Wait, Killjoy-nya nge-flank, weh.
We saw him on the flank. Solo got a chance. Solo on the Penny. Solo on the Vanity.
Oh, nice.
Excuse me, and now it's Effie's. Effie's once again.
Yes.
In a 1v1.
Oh.
Comes up huge again.
When does he not come up clutch? Absolutely absurd.
Wah, gila, gue down anjing nonton kayak gini ya, anjing jantung gue gak kuat. Wah, gila lu. Wah, new goblok anjing. Wah.
Everything that happened there again from version 1's retake. Oh my word, the end of these rounds are absurd.
Let's go.
Effie's. Right, and like you look at this roster and I want to take nothing away from Effie's because I think for the entire time of Valorant, he's shown how cracked out he can be.
Jantung gue gak kuat anjing.
And how many times this week, Riv, has he been the hero that version 1 is needed?
Nge-push mereka.
Many times, whether it was the lineups, whether it's just
Gak mau nonton anjir. Serem tadi.
13 to 12, Doug. This could be it for a new turn in the upper bracket here. Version 1 looking to solidify a game point.
All right, the hard hit onto B. The dash comes through as Penny makes his way across. The shock dart trying to clear him out.
Nice, we them.
I mean, they're working their way in, but Solo big. Solo's already gotten 2. The gravity well is going to try to pull Zelsis out from that corner, thinking that's where the spike is going to go. Solo, how much more do you have in you? Solo good for 4. The ace is stopped at the hands of Zelsis. Now Zelsis in a 1v3 to try to put Newturn away. He's got some utility. He's got
Please dong, jangan nge-throw dong anjing. Please dong, jangan nge-throw dong. Aduh. Oh yes, ente. Let's go. Let's go anjing. Let's go Enu, let's go.
Again. And I want to call attention, not a mistake, not anything, but to the nerves right now. We saw Lakia's shock dart. One hit Penny straight on. The next one went into the wall in front of Lakia. These players, as well as any of the viewers and fans out there, are just as much on the edge of their seat, sweating this one out. And what a game, what a map 2 we have so far. Newturn turning on the afterburners to keep it going. And we're going to see if keep it happening here.
Serembet anjing.
Jamie's Viper's wall going up. No operator in the hands of Penny once again. Gets a little peek.
Ya, defense jangan nge-throw.
As much like we saw earlier in the half, or in the map, excuse me, the drone clearing out the middle as they try to exploit it. Allow has taken that space, and again, Allow's not able to do anything with it. Jamie's takes care of him.
Fake on B right now from Newturn.
Ayo lo, kelihatan
Oh no.
Nice, Penny.
So there's not much of a bite. We can see the rotation from Vandy right now. And all the way back across. That thwarts the entirety of the play. Spike's not supposed to show like that. Unfortunately, that was seen by Penny. And now Newturn have to come up with a second play on the
On The benefit for U-turn here is that
Kamu kencing gua entot nontonnya.
they can invest back that way easily.
Jangan
Although
ngepick,
things
jangan
went a little
ngepick.
bit sideways,
Nanti,
they can
nanti.
adjust with just over 40 seconds left in the round. It seems like they're trying to cut noise and potentially work their way around. Yeah, Lakia deep in, and how many times did we see Lakia cause problems from this exact spot in regulation time? And by golly, he's doing it again. Effie's drops. That's not a safe way to go anymore, and that should give them a bit more room, them being U-turn, to try to get onto A. The spike the flash continues to tick down, so they've got to go A here. There's really no other option, and they're walking into Penny's operator. The jiggle, the knife, nothing showing. Great patience out of Penny, but his position's been given away. He has to dash out. Zealous is good for 1. 7 bullets left. 5 seconds left on the clock. They've got to get the spike down. Perry just playing in the nick of time, but Suggest comes up.
Oh, gila. Please, jangan ngetro, anjing, please jangan ngetro. Udah, stop, don't fucking. Oke, let's go, anjing. Wah.
Beautifully played.
Wah, ayo.
Turn there. The double peek is all
Let's
you
go
needed.
Newton.
They walked
Let's go
out together,
Newton.
Hip and hip. Great fundamental play there.
Let's go
Secure the
Newton.
round, but it means so much. Match point once again now on the side of U-turn here as version 1 look to keep this one alive for themselves.
Kayaknya Suges ini bukan orang Korea deh. Kayak bule gitu anjir dia.
Indonesia.
Enggak. Bukan Indo.
In this matchup.
Yep. And Doug, I question what was Newturn's second strat for that round. How were they going to come back, right? Oh my word, were they able to do it after using quite a bit of utility on out aiming. Version 1. Here we go. Round 28.
Version 1 backs against the wall. Jamie's got messed up there, man. He's gonna have to peel back a little bit, but Penny is taking the middle of the map. No.
Nggak nonton dah gua gak mau nonton dah.
Backs him up a bit, but they somehow come a lot. Lakia moves down.
4 lawan 3.
2 members of version 1, as now he's anchoring still back on the site.
My God, serem anjing.
Keep that in mind. The drone comes up big as well. 12 seconds left. They've got to know he's back.
Wah, GG.
Just swing out. Version 1's left to very little as Vanity.
GG.
Yes. Prediksi gue bener anjing. Yes. Oh my God. Untung gue 25 anjir menangnya.
So well deserved.
Gila anjing. Oh my God, let's go guys, let's go. Oh gila gua.
Take that B site at the end. Why not push Lakia? The version 1 a few rounds before would have been right in there, taking down the Odin, not worrying about it. But that was the pressure.
Let's go.
You had to second guess what you were doing to the side of version 1. And that's, I think, what we expected. Both teams to impose on each other in this series, and now we're getting it, Doug. Now we're getting that match we wanted.
And look, Riv,
gila.
Desk is going to talk about it, but one of the glaring absences here from version 1 was, like, what have we come to know? What have we come to expect when it comes to version 1 on attack? Right, the spike goes down, they drop utility, shock dart, snake bites, whatever it is, right? They make the post plant so suffocating. How often did you see that on Ascent?
Less than they would have liked, because the adaptation, and you saw the way that Newturn played as well, always having somebody like this, because that's where version 1 is, looking for the flank, looking for those post plants. So version 1 did a great job of tackling that.
Udah tenang hidup gua, tenang anjing, tenang. Siapapun yang menang bodo amat. Kalau bisa sih ini dah yang menang.
We're gonna take a break. I need a break. Grab a little bit of water. We're gonna cut to a break. When we return,
kalau bisa si Korea yang menang.
And Golden Boy will break down everything that we just saw.
Gua gak mau V1 menang anjir.
Mami, Korea.
Oh, metanya cuma bisa satu doang anjir. Maaf bang, telat. Nggak apa-apa, Wifan. Santai aja, Wifan. Thank you sudah datang. Lo gimana STD? Yoi bro.
Go.
Anjir gila banget coy. Gila. Mama Lauren nih bos. Papa Lauren. Call me Papa Lauren. Bisa memprediksi skor.
What those? Ayo, mati.
Berapa Dut?
Enggak,
Apanya mati?
BTA offline.
Apa?
BTA offline.
Offline?
Let's go ahead and circle back for a moment and talk about map 2 with some highlights presented by Prime Gaming. And Veli, this
Kata si
game
Anu nih.
top to bottom was insane. We thought NAEU was going to be a treat. No. Clearly NA Korea is where
Apa?
it's at, baby.
BTA offline kagak bisa top up.
Oh. Terus tadi lu bilang apa? Apa aja?
Tunggu tayar aja.
Oh.
Mau underload dulu.
Had me wondering if Penny was the next best jet that was coming out of NA. But then things started to slow down. Penny started to be a victim of the first blood. And you saw the rotations coming through. You saw the map control. There was a point in time where you saw a pinch in garage where just version 1 made sure that new turn was choked out. They had nowhere to go. You flip that around to the second half. Solos lurks have been insane. The flanks have been there. Suggest has been on fire. And
Suggest has been on fire.
I expect him to run the scene soon.
Oh yeah, Suggest he had picked it up. Actually, I wouldn't even say he picked it up. He picked it up at the latter part of the game. But let's not forget, game 1, Suggest was the only player on his team to just break even. So he's been having a good day today. He just needed the pop-off moment, and I'm actually really glad we showed that clip there. We'll get back to that one in a moment. But
Iko ngajak gua Apex anjing dari
this one
WhatsApp.
had everything that you could possibly want. And as a matter of fact, what better time than any?
Terus lu bilang udah di trash bin.
Lah gua balas.
Anjir. Juta kali nih pengheri ya.
Yeah,
Bingung balas
good
apa.
God,
Masa
this
gua
play
bilang
is just, it's actually nuts. This is something that like you would never expect to see. It's something that you never really should see happening. Solo, he's holding off over a tree. He manages to trade one. They take him out pretty quickly. And Lakia Suggest is about to get picked off. They if they don't get jammies, then this play does not work at all. But Suggest is dead. Lakia is just storming the site. He runs straight to the nanoswarm, doesn't give a damn, drops down, and happens to catch Zelsis throwing out the turret. I mean, like if that doesn't happen, who knows? Maybe this was just like everything. The stars aligning, basically. Like it should never have worked, but the fact that it did, like, good God.
You want to know why, Lothar? Because he had the quick thinking, just like Verizon's high-speed network. That's why.
Singkat apa lurus?
I just wanted to say that he has a heavy package between his legs and he's probably not gonna be able to jump because that guy is crazy, man. There's so much bravery.
Oh,
that's one way of saying.
that is you've certainly painted quite the picture for all of us, Lothar, to think about.
Yes, I did. I know.
Oh man, well, why don't you paint another picture for us here? Because Lothar, I'm surprised you're not bald right now, because you were molding a lot of that game, and part of it was because of some questionable choices from New Turn. One in particular that I know was a little startling was round 24 on that retake. It made some weird decisions there.
Skuy isinya combo semua sekarang anjir.
Play, but this one actually made me go bald for sure and join you, Gold Boy, because
Kizaru emang kapan keluar harus?
Every single utility that you have has to be used, and we have seen Solo push outside of CT with his Kager ultimate ready. There are the only two options. He either uses outside of CT to push out everyone from side to be backside in boathouse, or he goes out of CT with support of his team to go in front of the button to place it there. The third option was, I'm gonna just push out alone, not even check my left side because the right side was smoked, and he dies. Like,
Kapan update-nya? Masih belum tahu update-nya kapan.
New Turn are the reason why we even went to OT, and we have seen so many of them. I'm really like visibly upset because they play nuts. They are really good players. They have everything to succeed, and they round and round and round, we see those really questionable plays that go into the round, and it just ruins the game plan. It's crazy because they still want the map.
Yeah, it's actually something that we've seen throughout the entirety of this tournament, right? I'm thinking about when Fnatic played against Sentinels as well. Whenever some of these regions, and all of these regions, we see some of the attacks kind of go off in. And with Killjoy coming out first, they know that's not the order of attack. They know this is match point. They know you have to utilize that lockdown. So make sure you get that pinch in middle and make sure that execute is perfectly ran. But I fear now, Golden Boy. Kilios, Lothar, going to map 3, seeing what version 1 is capable of, the flicks, the clutches. We're talking about Penny and Effie's now going against a red-hot New Turn. This could be a turning point in this entire bracket.
Yeah, Achilleos, man, and I believe it's going to be split is where we're heading off to.
Yeah.
This now opens the floodgates here. I think version 1, they got away with a lot of shenanigans on Haven. They're a great team, but they were clearly in their element. New Turn have found themselves here. What do they do to be able to turn this around and send version 1 to that lower bracket?
I mean, this is going to be a tough one. Both of these teams, they have very similar records when it comes down to split. If you look at their all-time, it's 16-6 for version 1, and it's 15-5, I believe, for New Turn. They have, historically have been pretty good at this map. They're the first team to ever best Vision Strikers on this map. So I think that if they can manage to just kind of pull off their usual set plays, like if they get a side, they have some wonderful defensive set plays. I think that if they can make those work and just stay calm, keep their heads in the game, I think that they should be able to take this away. I'm expecting another overtime, honestly, though. I think that they're playing so very close together that there's no way that this ends in a blowout. At least I hope that it doesn't. If this is close, I'm going to be satisfied no matter who wins.
Yeah, well, you got to stay cool.
Kenapa agak taruh 2 metan? Metannya cuma bisa taruh sekali doang. Bisa taruh 2 kali. Jadi gue mau taruh satu lagi, tulisannya only one meta knight can be put. Katanya begitu.
You got Doug and Rivington, and I got to get myself some suspenders. Let me find some.
Thank you, GB. Woo, baby. If map 2 was not enough, if that wasn't enough to get your heart going, to get the adrenaline pumping, I don't know what to tell you. Riv, I mean, as best as you can, if there was like one big takeaway from Ascent for you, what was it?
Honestly, the New Turn can mentally come through.
Scanner nih, scanner.
At the point of Haven, we saw New Turn not playing any sort of their own game. That becomes the scariest thing for a team when you're in competition. When there might be silence in the calls. Silence is chaos, is what I say when nothing's happening. You need to have a plan. You need to have something to do. And that plan honestly became, forget about map 1. We can take map 2. And the pressure, the intensity that version 1 played with is exactly what we saw them using in Korea when they took down Damwon Kia, when they took down Vision Strikers, 2 huge powerhouse teams coming out of the region who honestly were expected to be here before New Turn. So They go back to that. They go back to their strength and play confident. And honestly, you go to that age-old saying is comfort. But we'll explain what that means a little bit more going in. Their composition for split has been the same the last 8 times they played it. We love seeing that breach in there, and I'll talk a little bit more how they play with it once we get there. How you feeling about version 1, Doug?
Good. And I think here's the thing, right? You look at version 1's story up until this point, and to be honest with you, a lot of it is riddled with like doubt and questioning as we hop into Agent Select. Courtesy of our friends at Prime Gaming. It's all right, V1 the roster, oh, they couldn't get past phase, and oh, now they had this and like all of this has been like an asterisk up until this point, but it seems like V1 are just kind of like built in such a way, it's in their DNA that they can handle all of that and walk away from that on top, right? They've done it on the North American stage, they've done it on the international stage, and it's been what I mean, they just took a huge blow from Newturn, but if there's any team from North America that I believe can take a hit like that in the mouth and punch right back, it's version 1.
And on this one, we do have Newturn starting on defense as we hop out of our Agent Select by Prime Gaming. Great game there.
Oh yeah.
Ada yang mau story lagi nggak?
Great game. Oh yeah, a few times.
Tanggung nih udah mau 30.
A little bit, you know. I'll watch some people.
Yuk, story.
Story apa?
Nah, kata lu story tadi.
Story ini ASTD. Mau lu?
Iya, story.
So they need everything they can get here on defense.
Iya lu.
Because it may be rough on the second side. Just a speculation. What we got now, a little bit of mid run going on, and it looks like it is going to be feeling the weather here in mid before they make a move.
You see Suggest has something set up towards garage on B as well. They have taken the space away.
Let's go Vanity.
But they do.
Vanity anjir. Let's go. Let's go NU.
Large part they are right. Like there's no presence towards A. They're looking to work this B.
Lu masih Abarus.
If you here, we'll get this, and then I'll talk about what I was just about to say. Nice in by Penny, distracting. Oh dear, that got real close, and they're gonna have to really struggle to get this one in, as they did not get too much info.
Oh, Vanity read that so well. You saw 2 members of Newturn try to push through to get behind them, and Vanity was waiting for it, and now V1 are looking to dial up a little something spicy, something special, as they've picked up the spike, and it looks like they're trying to flip the map. They've taken defender spawn. They're working all the way across back towards A, and you can see it's a foot race as Lakia is trying to get to be the first one there, and Lakia does beat them to the punch. They're going to rotate back, but you've got Allow, who's also pinching them in. They're going to walk right into his lap. Allow with the frenzy. Allow.
Oh, no.
What I was going to mention was, I said before, we see Jammies go off alone. He'll Viper Wall, he'll stay with that, he'll give info. And you saw the whole time,
siapa lu beli siapa terus?
Making sure nobody was there, but Newturn never really bit to anything until they had confirmation. They weren't worried about the Viper Wall. It's something that version 1 plays all the time there. So again, Viper Wall towards a little bit deeper, which tries to cover
lower bracket ini.
Area of heaven. We'll see how they use this now, as they can get a little closer without a distraction.
Sampai lu. Udah kenain. Flash nih lihat.
As well from Penny, as he's gotten his way up to heaven, not triggered by the Killjoy turret yet. I think one thing we have to keep in mind here, especially in the attacking half, is you think back to their map against Liquid, which was an overtime, an instant classic overtime match, and there were a couple of instances, one that's very vivid, where version 1, like, I believe Pansy said they overcooked it, right? Like, they tried rotating.
Yeah, just back and forth.
Right, they, like, played themselves. And you kind of saw some hints of that in the way they played that pistol, where they got back into defense spawn and they tried pulling back.
Nape anjing lu dit. Apa dulu oke. Lu nape anjir.
Are they willing to throw parry with the paranoid?
Oh, gila.
As well, and the grenade.
Oh, gila.
It's too easy. Newturn mows them down. Just a couple remaining on the side.
Great read, great everything. Honestly, just waiting to make this one cleaned up here.
Yeah.
And they push forward. So, Newturn for the first time here in the map, starting off nice and strong, making sure they can keep V1 on the back foot. We did see a bit of a control here and back and forth in the
2-0 anjir.
members were falling. A lot more economy required for the next round here. They get a very nice flawless.
Putresno.
What do they bring to the fold? You mentioned how important it is, really for both of these teams to get a lead right in this first half because of how because of the nature of split and how it frequently plays out. I think there's a lot that can be determined just off of this first half.
Gue mau beli sesuatu dari Tokped.
And it was just such a good stand by U-turn. One of the other things I'm loving from them, Riv, is how they have worked that thought. That op shot from Allow just narrowly misses as they try to work their way up A.
And here, now the jammy strat. Leave him off to the side. It's up to New Turn to now divide themselves accordingly. Usually they will have suggest towards the middle of the map, so he can control with a fault line, whether that's towards mailroom or whether that's back down towards ramp. So they keep it safe there. The opt for Allow as Vanity on the move.
And Zelsis, I mean, look at how far up they both are, right? They have full control of mid. That was their one key condition to work out. And yeah, they got one, but Lakia drops. Perry's going to drop as well. Now they have the middle of the map. Take a look at how Zelsis is going to be wrapping up behind them as well as he took his way up ropes deep into defender spawn. There is no area of the map that V1 are not willing to push into. But again, Suggest is just able to punish that Vanity drops.
Nice job by New Turn there to continue to pressure. I thought V1 was going to try to pull a rope. With a beautiful
Gila, solo KR ini gila anjir.
is always going to rotate around the map.
Ayo, dispoker le.
That's what the information that Jammies is giving, so they can do multiple things, decide what they want in their own adventure.
Gila.
Pushes up. If you can grab this room on split,
Free
it
upgrade.
means so much because of how the entries work. You otherwise know they're going through the middle. So if you can see New Turn pushing up like this every time, the calls they have to make are that much easier. Really smart plays.
You can already see this, we're only a couple rounds in, but this feels like a chess match already of watching players rotate around the maps and how they're kind of reading, trying to be one step ahead of one another.
Ini udah naik banget anjing.
Off of that exact same situation, right? Like reading things out. With that allows Perry to get some aggressive positioning, hold that other side, and set up a brutal crossfire with Allow and Perry and Garage.
I like the fact that New Turn is splitting the wall over there on A. This new wall that you see version 1 putting up means if they do go through that top vent area, they pretty much have a safe spot towards the backside of A there. So here they put a little aggression over towards that B site and Garage, and we'll see if they actually execute fully on this with their save round coming through.
You should run. So, all right, let's see how this plays out before I try to break this out. You see the lockdown has come out. Penny's already good onto Allow. And they've got some room, but the thing is, Suggest is back on site. He's safe from the lockdown, and he's got a rifle. Yeah, you've got plenty of utility, but the flash was there. He gets punished anyway, but Perry does not. Solo gets onto one as well. I mean, version 1 just kind of get ripped to shreds here. Zelsis with 8 health in a 1v2, and I mean, yeah, we've seen some insanely unlikely. Lakia gets cleaned up. And here's the thing, Riff, that I wanted to point out. It's so oppressive that U-turn takes that much space because, okay, let's play out that round one more time. They got deep into Garage, they invested utility, great. Version 1 had to invest an equal amount of utility in the Cloudburst, the dash, the the Astra Star to clear out that corner, and all U-turn had to do was back up to where they started, right? So even though that much utility was invested to push them back, they just went back to equal footing. There wasn't anything that was really gained that wasn't already version 1's to begin with.
And they're not backing down. Previously on Haven, that might have been a save in one of those rounds that you see version 1 get back through some Sheriffs and Spectres. But New Turn was saying, no, we're Phantoms. We got a Vandal. Oh, no, they're all Phantoms right now. And a Vandal, there is one. So knowing that, why not take the fights? They have to show confidence, and New Turn is really starting to step up. Jammies working alone by himself with that wall once again, as the rest of Vision Strikers grab the information. Solo I mean, he is playing true to his name right now. Anytime he is put in that situation, he comes out on top. Huge for the team once again.
Suggest gets cleaned up at the hands of Penny. And you see Jamie's just made his way towards A, playing around the wall, big kill as well. And you like that, right? Because at that moment, the spike is still in the middle of the map. You feel things out on A. If Jamie's does get a kill there, they can flip it.
Lu nggak Valorant tuh?
Ya nih lagi
AFS.
ASTD.
AFS.
ASTD.
AFS.
ASTD anjing. Ya tuh cewek gue makan nasi shirataki tapi gue gak demen. Kayak kenyal-kenyal aneh gitu.
They're safe. And looking at, you talk about Jammies a bit. We keep saying he's alone. But let's talk about why that works good for him. You know, why would they put the sub alone? Well, Jammies comes over as a teammate already previously of a few members of this team, and Zelsis and whatnot. So you see him, one, having that communication. Two, he was kind of a duelist in Valorant, jet player, whatnot, but you're not going to move Penny off that. So putting him in a situation where he can do whatever in 1v1s is fantastic. But on a new team, we've heard version 1 say
gila, mereka udah menang 4 kali berturut-turut aja masih saving anjir. Kayak kenyal. Apa?
Gak mau nge-troll.
Iya anjir.
Sayang.
Karena aneh aja rasanya. Kenyal-kenyal gitu, kayak nasinya aneh. Licin-licin gitu loh.
But for version 1, I think it's also an important round because you've got to get, you've got to stop the bleeding, right? Like you're down 4, you can feel the momentum, and think back with me, Riv, right after the pistol, the energy that U-Turn showed when they won that round, you'd think they had won an overtime round, right? To freaking win the whole dang thing. And I think the important thing to take away from that is the momentum that they had from winning the overtime in the previous map fully carried here, and you can see it on the timeline, right? They roar out of the gates, they win 4 rounds in a row, and for version 1, a lot of it was like, you've got to mitigate some of this damage, you've got to do something to stop this and shift the way things are going, because this can get out of hand very quickly.
We'll have to see what they, I mean, U-Turn here taking the tactical timeout to make sure they can continue doing what they're doing and make sure
doing what they're doing,
anything's coming back
doing
to
what
fruition
they're
that might plague
doing.
them in a situation where they're ahead, ironing all that out.
That's a Sam Junjo. Tanggal itu apa?
Now we can't even really speculate that much. Who reads lips?
Tanggal apa itu?
But
doing what they're doing.
That's a Sam Junjo. 30 seconds left.
Back to talk about Solo.
Doing what they're
where
doing.
He's been with Perry, and they're between them, as they said on the desk, over 2 decades of professional gaming experience and leadership there for Solo.
Ih, kayak aneh gitu, nggak demen gue.
But just what Solo.
Gue masih tetap makan nasi, tapi cuman kalau malam minum susu Herbalife sama nyemil Malkis aja.
Booming the zooms. Indeed, let's take a look at setups early on. You see the Viper's wall is going to go up, cover top ramps, and is going to cover heaven. You also have the Killjoy turret to deny any sort of rotation wrapping around from version 1 in case they get a little cheeky, try to dial up a little bit of monkey business. As now, with that, all of that in mind, right? Like they've taken care of A. They understand they have safety valves over there. Vanity's the safety valve on B, but with all of that, they can kind of feel things out across the middle of the map now.
The 3-block Viper wall is up. We see on the right side again this millabout here that U-Turn has been able to read by version 1. As version 1 tries to figure out what's going on, U-Turn has been in the right spot. They've never really wanted to rotate through mid. They only take a few fights here.
Iyalah, nggak kuat kalau tiba-tiba langsung berubah gitu. Kayak harus pelan-pelan coy. Kalau perubahannya langsung drastis, nanti gue sekali lihat masih kalah anjir.
Jammies again has been grabbing info on what could be happening.
Yeah, but dude, he might have grabbed some info, but I think it's just like that nobody's home, right? And you've got so much utility. There's the alarm bot. That's going to give that away, and he hadn't even gotten up that far to have that much space. So once that alarm bot goes off, with roughly 35 seconds left in the round, you know that that's where the hit's going to go. Now keep an eye on Jamie still. He's
already lining up.
Got to line up indeed, but Solo's lockdown's gonna create some space. They're gonna have to back off, and this might, I mean, Riv, this might end up
Oh,
being
bagus juga anjing di sana
here because even if they play
lockdownnya.
off with that, they've got some of those lineups. It's safe for them to play this out. If you're new turn, you've got to take the fight to version 1 here. You've got to stick it to him.
Oh my
Allow just narrowly missing onto 1, but Solo does not. Allow gets
Oh.
a second. Version 1 can't get back in.
Oh.
The defuse is going to start. You see Jammies is alive. There's the snake bite. Is it going to be enough for the defuse?
he got
it. It stops him. It delays him. But can they get back on? Can they get back on, Riv? I don't know if they can.
They got
Solo's
time.
getting it to half. Solo's getting it to half. Solo steals it right out from under their noses.
That
Wow.
that might have been the weirdest A site hold I've seen.
Kagak. Gua doang.
5 players over towards alt orb. Oh,
Dia
my
mah
word, version 1. That
emang
was,
dari dulu makannya
Newton
dikit-dikit
was
mulu.
just shooting fish in a barrel there for the last few moments. They come up 5-1 like you
Dia
said.
tuh makan
Just
nasi shirataki
their
tuh.
noses, even with the next
Gua nggak demen.
viper bite coming through. And boom, or Solo rather, sorry. Just off to the side.
Yeah, Riv, they just didn't have anything left, and like, you know, we saw that lockdown early on and how much space it created. V1 had to funnel back, right? But now, on the attack again, they've got rifles across the board and a Spectre. Jamie's again still kind of playing chicken over on A side. He's gonna get some good info. He's gonna get a kill. And Allow doesn't swing it out.
That's such a hard play.
Timingnya.
The person on the outside is always going to be able to see you there. Puts himself in a tough spot, but Penny now going into that B site. He's going to be alone. Dashes straight through.
Celsius and Penny get a couple of kills apiece. You see Vanity is playing in garage as well, holding the
Kenapa ya manusia ini jago semua anjing?
Jamies is holding the middle of the map, and you see
Kenapa ya gue
this
nggak
early
bisa
on,
sejago
they've
ini?
already punted. They've given up the space, and it's interesting to see, Riv, that's now twice that new turn. I mean, a 2v5 sucks, right? Like, a 2v5 is not a pleasant situation to find yourself in. But you see teams at least try it. There's this very clear new turn. Once they have decided that, all right, guys, we can't win this round, they just cut their losses. They don't want to have anything to do with it.
We talked a little bit about new turns percentages on this map. 67% win rate on the defense. When you look at all-time maps for teams and win rate percentages on attack defense, you'll sometimes see like 55s to 58s when they're really good, 60s to 63s, 67% on defense. And we're seeing that here as we're able to capitalize on almost round.
Oh, aku mau tidur. Oke, Wyvern, selamat tidur, bro. Good night, good night.
What I'm saying for version
Good
1,
night.
even finding rounds. This is where new turn feels so comfortable, and it's where they have to, because we mentioned their attack win rate percentage is 44%. So sometimes it can fall apart where maybe new turn again falls into that playing to their opponent in the moment and getting their own style.
Yeah, I think the story for V1 here is just how many rounds can you get, right? You aren't expecting to win this half. It's can we get to 8-4? Can we get to 7-5? And then get to the side that we prefer. This round, you've got the Jamie's wall up. Slightly different setup, right? Like, it's not necessarily hitting off top heaven. It's not hitting off top ramps the same way that we've seen before. It's a slightly different look. You see the Cosmic Divide coming out as well. And the Viper's Pit Riv. This is a full-blown fake, right? There is no intention to go A, but man, new turn have bit, and they've bit hard.
See how they recoup. You always get to do the full retake if this is the case, but that doesn't mean it's any better. Perry starts one off. The Omen from the shadows takes down Jammies, and we'll see how this one plays out. They finally find out that Jammies has been hanging out on A too long.
Vanity's playing off across the middle of the map as well. So they've got some control of the rotations. That's going to keep Harry at bay. Here comes the Thunder. Blocky has already been cleaned up. You hear the lockdown is going to come out as well. Buy a little time. The tap was there. No, Effie's gets absolutely destroyed. The gravity wall is coming out, and it's going to delay just a little bit. And the lockdown there as well, so they have to respect it. They have to back off. But Zelsis, not knowing what's going on, has to check it. Zelsis is good for one. He gets cleaned up. As Vanity alone in a 1v3. Yep. And the time is running.
Oh, shit.
Vanity might do it. Ladies and gents, the 1v1 as the spike continues to tick away. It's not at half. Suggest gets the kill, but
Kalah anjing V1. Kalah anjing. 3 lawan 1 kalah anjing.
New turn
V1 kalah.
very methodical retake and hold in the middle of that site take, coming in together, trading over each other's shoulders, and then it comes down to it again. It's not a lineup this time, but that post point.
Vanity Clutch orang yang gue benci, yang pakai headset kawaii kan, menggelikan.
No emotion in those plays, in those moments. It's like cold. Poker face. I'd never want to call a bluff on that guy. Version 1, full rifles. Newturn not nearly as fortunate. They have one in the hands of Lakia, who has the showstopper. But it seems like V1, they have found something that's starting to work. Of course, as I say that, the one rifle on the side of Newturn takes care of Penny.
Veli brought it up coming into our last map, or out of our last map, that Penny was finding those first deaths instead of first bloods a little more. And it was affecting version 1, so we'll keep an eye on that call out as well from the analyst desk as we proceed through this now round 9. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, already a banger of a series. It's the final map here to see who stays up in the upper bracket between version 1 and Newturn Gaming. It looks like a little love towards B here from version 1, and a lot of focus from Newturn on defense has now pushed Killjoy to A.
Oh no. Oh no, the setup was there, right? You've got the judge, you also had the fault line. Everything was set up. Newturn fully committed to controlling this area of the map, and this was not a fake. Much like what we saw previously, V1 did want to go towards B. They put that sage wall up as well to try to give them entry, and they get absolutely destroyed. Perry once again using the ultimate to grab information, much like we saw a couple of rounds ago, ensure that nobody is pushing up into garage, because they have to flip the map. Yeah, Zelsis was deep, but he still gets punished. Jammies is alone, and he's not around for long. A flawless round from Newturn. And I mean,
and that is prime gaming.
It is prime gaming indeed. You're absolutely right. It seems like every time V1 like figures something out and they punch back, Newturn just respond in kind.
Yeah, Newturn is literally reading version 1 like a book on these plays. I mentioned, I was like, oh my god, all of that utility from KJ was very much focused towards A. KJ's usually on A for the side of Newturn, but the way they focused the util made me think B could be very dangerous. But the way this Newturn set up, being behind each other, always having that contact play with somebody else to take the firefight as well. They do so well playing off each other in these moments where they're just feeling it. And right now, they very much are. As we come into round 10, Suggest a bit of a peek there, and he almost loses all of his head.
Yeah, second chance at life. He gets messed up, just down to 10 health.
Meter jauh banget anjing, 5 meter.
On the side of Newturn to get him back to full health, and much like we've seen the last couple of rounds, right? Like Jamie's the default, feeling things out on A, not getting any info, right? Now, like not getting any positioning, no real estate has been gained. And because of that, they can still play around this. They being Newturn, right? They still have the Nanoswarm, they still have the turret, and you see the activation of that because V1 showed, and now they're gonna pull back. The Sage Wall is up. They're gonna work their way in through heaven. Vanity rains fire down onto Suggest from top row. Perry trades it back out. Perry looking to hold fast. No, he's gonna get cleaned up as the 3v3 comes through. Effie's res brings Vanity back into things, and there's Lakia's showstopper. The blast packs across, and he lands onto one. Vanity rips him down from the skies as Allow is now the one on the entry. There's the lockdown as Elsis cleans up Allow. Solo has to make some magic happen. There's a snake bite again, denying entry. At least just a little bit, make him think about it. Solo does finally get cleaned up. We talked about this Riv, right? For V1, 7-5, 8-4, that's a win. Right now it's been rocky, but they're holding serve.
This play coming in here, just seeing how it all executed, how it all worked out. You can't underestimate the use of the lockdowns here, but the placement of it wasn't in range. It was a different place than usual. So it leaves that spot open, just these small things at the last moment when you are forced to make the play. That's what it starts coming down to, is the opponents forcing each other to make plays under certain situations. You're trying to set a play up, you start getting shot at, you're going to have to start darting and nading under that aspect of firefight. So trying to get down onto version 1. They're just not letting him do anything easy or fundamental to start off.
You can feel like version 1.
Tiga udah main scanner lagi.
Really good idea that they're going to want to hit B. Perry has smoked the entrance out of garage twice. They also invested the fault line at the beginning of the round, which is pretty standard. And there's also the denial of info. So version 1 has no idea if somebody's crossed across garage to be holding that flank. All of the heavy went that way. Now, V1, because they haven't found much room to work with elsewhere, they're kind of like huddled up in the middle of the map. This is normally where we see Jammies peek out, see if he can get a kill, and then if they do, they can try to exploit the middle, work their way through ropes to get towards A. Oh, but it's Solo who gets impatient. It's Solo who gets punished. And while it wasn't through vents, it wasn't through ropes, they are going to go back towards A with 30 seconds left.
I think that's perfect by version 1. We'll talk about that in a minute as they rush the site here. Penny's gonna
Kalah. Tembus cap.
Here comes the Cosmic Divide as well. Penny playing just on the other side of it. Remember, he's got the Blade Storm, but if he's not careful, they're going to show up right behind him. Blackie playing on the other side of the wall as it looks like they're just going to wait it out. And Riv, again, look at it. It's a 5v4. They're so concerned with controlling economy, with not losing grasp on the map, that they're willing to cut ties very early. It's the third time we see them do this.
It's kind of incredible to see, honestly. And exits made.
Anjir 4 lawan 5 mereka saving, guys.
Serius.
This was such a good play.
New turn.
New turn is doing a great job at just denying info. I have hardly ever seen a team that doesn't put anyone in B heaven. We have seen version 1 walk all the way up there out of B heaven multiple times, into ropes, out of ropes, because there's nothing to be grabbed there. And New Turn's saying, sure, grab it. We're ready for the site take. Our plan is here. We're playing to your game, version 1. I keep looking at the V and saying Vision Striker, New Turn, and I've been watching VOD after VOD. It's so hard to not say it. I apologize to everyone.
Lampu TL neon.
New Turn this time is not falling prey to playing version 1's game.
Last round of the half, you got to keep a look at Ultimate. Zelsis 1 point away from having the lockdown in tow. There's the fault line. The smoke comes out as well on top of the nade, but this time it's an excellent counter, expecting that Perry's going to go around. They invest in Nano Swarm as well. Perry gets messed the F up, and he has to back up.
That is pretty messed up.
That is pretty messed up. Solo gets cleaned up at the hands of Jammies as Penny flies across this screen. And look at the setups, right? They know where they want it. They've dropped the ping. The smoke from Viper is there as well. Penny's not allowed to get into the site at all. As the spike goes down, they've got the lineups. This should be vintage version 1
Kenapa
here.
dari menang jauh tiba-tiba kit tuh?
Di comebackin terus anjir. Ini NU-nya terlalu nafsuan anjir mainnya.
Bukannya sabar sampai info.
Oh, ini doang. Pas sudah tahu kesalahannya baru.
They're gonna fight it. There's no reason not to. Zelsis creeping his way around. Penny flashed up, dashes away, somehow stays alive just long enough, but does get cleaned up. Suggest on the defuse. Effys and Zelsis are both there. Effys and Zelsis come right around the corner just in the nick of time to tie us up at 6 going into the second half.
What a start to this map. And kudos, I should say, for New Turn, an amazing start, and kudos to the side of version 1 for being able to pull it back. Looking at the score lines, usually we don't say this, look, KDA is on my word, but looking at the score lines, you can see it has been a complete team effort by the side of version 1. Nobody's having the ability to nobody's coming out. It's not Penny's day. This is requiring a lot of teamwork, and we're seeing a different version of the team now that they're kind of allocated to playing that style.
All right, New Turn on the attack. We talked about what score version 1 needed to hit in order to feel good. They surpassed that. And now it's on New Turn on the attack. What areas of the map can they explore? From a historical perspective, it is a bit better of a half for version 1, right? From a defensive perspective, they tend to play this a bit better. And as you mentioned, Riv, it's painfully average out of New Turn.
So hungry.
They don't have the breach just yet. I feel like that's kind of the initiation of the play after they figure out what's going on.
Hungry, cannot eat. Already sick.
Not the Astra this time. They do
After this go down.
That's not going to be activated just yet. The site take comes in from new turn, and they've made great.
Newton ini rapi kali masuknya, Bung. Round 1 udah beli Spectre dia. Saking rapi ya.
Trying to clear things out as well, and they're gonna have to bust a move here relatively soon. Good investment of utility. Yeah, Jamie's trying to clear some space. Here they go. Vanity flying across the screen. It's actually Effie's that does it. Balakia cleans him up. Jamie's still up atop in heaven. He's left alone, and he's not.
Gila. Ini bisa pulang anjing dut sih. Bisa pulang V1 ke lower bracket.
Pulang ke lower bracket.
Turun ke lower bracket terus ketemu extend pulang deh.
He gets his feet a little wet in the Viper's bite before end of the round with an and one. So that's a new turn round. That's a pistol round coming in. They're usually able to secure these. Are the shotties there? Always for vanity. Always got a pocket shotty. But it is not going to be the regular buy here for version 1. Split is not a game you can start messing with econ on. The moment you start going down on econ, the map starts to roll in your opponent's favor.
Gila lu. Anjing gue jadi killjoy-nya kagetnya naujubillah anjing digituin.
Filth out of solo. He did get one, but it got traded
Kaget
out.
termemek ya.
Termemek.
On to be the paranoia to follow up. As well as
Kevin.
He's in this great spot, but all he has is a classic. There's just not much you can do with that weapon. So, Sight in full control of new turn here. Version 1 trying to fight for a retake. The only thing they have that's better is the Spectre in the hands of Penny, and he's got 5 health left.
Kalah nggak sih anjing? Oh iya.
That is the story a lot of the times, huh? Perry and Suggest, along with Allow here. Allow's like, I don't want to go down, so I'm going to go ahead and hold this Spectre. I'll be the last one to peek. Perry says, on me. Full health, full kill. Nice little round there for themselves. See what they actually keep in terms of guns. Suggest did have that shotty in hand that he picked up. The Bucky for himself. And again, there you can see very much a team game across the board for the side of version 1, trying to pull it together. Jammies your information, grab it on the other side of the map, usually trying to figure out the 1v1s and keep the post plants going on. The rest of the team playing well. Effie's now not on his Sova. We are seeing a little bit less of an impact there, but that's not like they're like, oh, we shouldn't play Sova. He's just saves this time, and it's almost a necessity. This wall right here is so big for shutting down a strategy in its tracks, and we'll see if we can get a bit of that.
I mean, and that's exactly what they've done so far, right? You turn fully stacked on A. They wanted to go that way. There is nobody lurking, gathering information anywhere. And that wall off the bat just buys so much time. On top of the gravity well, in case it gets broken down, they're able to mow them apart. And while that is how things panned out, they weren't able to get the kills. Lakia dashing across the screen. Fast, good for one. The paranoia comes out as he has to reposition. Reload.
Nice.
Matters. He gets taken out at the hands of Allow. Now, for new turn, they have some control on the site. They've got Solo playing the middle of the map as well. And Perry on the swing. He was holding such a pivotal part, but no, he gets cleaned up. The spike goes down.
Solo is so big for this round.
Oh, and he's hearing everything, Riv.
Ayo, pick.
Last move.
Pick, ketahuan anjing.
He's got a chance at something, but no, now his position's been given away. Here we go, another entry in from the defender spawn because there's no control of Heaven. Vanity has to clear them out or else they're just going to be ripped to shreds. Vanity does clear them out. Now they can apply pressure from different areas. They've got Vanity up in Heaven. They've got people working their way around.
Gila nih Korea anjing.
That's huge by new turn. After version 1 identified what was going on up in Heaven, Vanity's seeing Solo behind, that should have been the rest of version 1 in the site. Completely collapsing on the members that were there. But for a
keras anjing game.
Suggest to be able to hold those angles, even they know that was a hell yes. They were on the edge of their seat for that one and on knife's edge for sure.
Oh yes, let's go Korea.
They are now version 1 are on a broken buy again. You've got the judge in the hands of Vanity, but that's it. Meanwhile, new turn. Far more.
V1 udah mulai mental breakdown, dude.
Got full rifles across the board.
Udah nggak bisa nembak bumbot mereka.
A little bit of a look towards A, but that's really been it so far. from the side of Newturn as they've leaned towards B. You see Jamie's taking some of that space away. The dash across the site, the paranoia that follows.
Oh anjing gila bagus banget ya, bukan deh.
This is Nano Swarm that's able to get the opening pick allow with 18 health left. Certainly sitting dicey, and they know he's there, but they're not gonna. They're not gonna clear it. Allows still okay.
Gets to shake off the concussion.
Anjing low semua tadi tapi.
Very low HP though. Jammy's able to tag one down. Quick Viper bite for any push that may come in as they pincer the site. This is going to be Jammy's and Penny.
Jammy's good for it. Jammy's has the only one. He was the only one with a rifle. That's huge. It's now Perry alone in a 1v2 with 18 health, 3 bullets to his name. Has to switch over to the classic Penny playing around the so patiently, so intelligently for version 1 there. There was not a okay.
Thrifty
Very
anjing.
patient. They played things out beautifully, and they bridged the gap down to 2.
What a round there.
Wow. Thrifty kalah tuh gimana sih? Bingung gue nih.
And now they have a few guns to be working with on the round. We'll recap this one right here. The push around from Jammies. I mean, the guy sets up the same.
Kayak udah sih, pick mulu.
Now we're gonna go ahead and do something else around the map. Working together as per usual. Jammies, Penny making it work.
Tuh plan di sana, ya udahlah main city lah anjing.
Set up here across the map, it's split. We do have the spike right now away from the rest of the turn, so expect this one to be drawn out a bit and a bit more of a default.
Ini kayak aneh aja sih. NU-nya nge-throw banget. Nge-throw banget anjir.
Focusing his ult here? Yeah, he's getting ult.
And that's
Oh, Penny sudah memakai OP. Spike sama KJ. Kalau KJ nengok, jedor.
Box 1 on this to-do list checked. There's still a long way to go though.
Maknyus langsung anjing.
Okay, taking down the wall. Always imperative. If a wall is in your game, put a hole in it, people. Make that Sage sweat a little bit. Never just leave the wall up. That's weird. That's weird. Tips for all. PSA. Oh baby.
Anjing. Oh gila.
Gets a kill onto Effie's anyway. Celsius somehow has gotten behind them. Spots Perry, denies any other entry, and that includes the spike. Now that sideline has been given up. Now Solo's gonna work his way in. As Penny with the op in 1 HP.
Enggak, itu gimana tadi ceritanya, gue bingung anjing. Bagus banget tadi.
As the spike has gone down, keep an eye on Perry on the minimap, work in the middle as
Oh shit.
On top of the Viper Spit. They are fully committing to taking this site back. Lakia has to back up the op with 1 HP, doesn't matter, he's good for it. Eventually gets cleaned up. Jamie's good one as well, the defuse is there, suggest. Blake just on the other side, suggest good for 1. Surely, giving me a heart attack. Along with the rest of North America, it looks like he was no, Celsius is able to get the defuse. Version 1 get to 8. This thing's going back and forth, Riv.
Cucu.
With which version 1 needed to retake that site was
Ternyata retake-nya lebih bagus daripada taking-nya.
Literally on the front doorstep of everything that was happening once they could get into position.
Penny ini 1 nyawa anjir, nggak mati.
Down. Newturn doing such a nice job at of breaking these sites open, getting in. I love the rolling thunder.
Anjir, teriakin tuh kan sama si Vanity, what are you doing? Digituin anjir.
The Killjoy turret, which then didn't activate as much on people running in, so it was Celsius not getting as much information on what was happening.
Tadi kan si Korea tuh teriak-teriakin si P1 terus. Kayak wow gitu-gitu terus. Dibalas sama Vanity, what are you doing?
Seriusnya teriak what are you doing? Teriak ke siapa? Ke Korea?
Iya ke Korea. Iya, terus Korea balas nothing gitu. Iya. Kayak yang Vanity teriak ke Korea beneran. Yang nothing itu bercanda anjing. Jelek banget anjing tauntingnya kayak gitu. What are you doing? Nothing. Hihi. Haha.
Honestly, it would hopefully be more than that. But they know this is one of those pivotal rounds that can start to swap the game back and forth. Let's take a look at the run here as it comes through. That's 2 rounds right now. So that means this round loss is $2,900 on top of Newturn's money. More than enough credits to be purchasing on that side. If version 1 gets reset, they get $1,900.
Jangan coklat Newton.
Could actually put them in a spot where they're not finding all of the utility they need, right? That's $2,600 for jammies. If that comes to fruition.
Kalau menang lawan Babang Sentinel nih Korea.
$7,200. So there's been a drop already for version 1.
Kali berapa tuh anjing kalau menang?
Pivotal. These rounds could be pivotal, and it gets even more as it goes.
Kali jodoh.
It's gonna be towards B.
What are you doing? Playing. I see. Okay.
the heaviness of the moment as these teams are just quietly playing through, understanding that this is a pivotal round for economy for both teams.
Di bawah ada muntahu, ada rendang, ada pare. Waduh.
A little bit as well, but they are going to flip things back, and you see an adjustment for version 1. I think most other maps, given what they saw early on.
Ada sambal terasi mbak gue enak banget anjir. Kacau
Kental manis, enak.
That was terrifying. That was jump scare stuff right there.
Not ready for that. I'm glad the players are still vibing right now.
Jadi lu nggak pesen KFC dude?
This is intense. All right. Coming back, testing the water. Penny says 1, Blade Storm out.
It's a fake though. It's a fake though. Solo's going to invest the lockdown, but the spike is still on the other side. It's Vanity who's alone. Yeah, Zelsis is close by.
I feel like this is one of Vanity's judge situations, but he's got the Phantom.
Zelsis backed up. I don't think Zelsis spotted him. I don't think Zelsis spotted him, but the trigger discipline. He's good for
kelar draw. Nggak dicek belakangnya. Konyol anjing.
Of course, as I say that aloud, gets cleaned up, but we're tied up at 9 apiece. Version 1 from
tapi OP-nya keambil tai.
That it should. We did see that, a bit of a round where Newturn wants to get the spike down. They run in a bit willy-nilly without having too much to invest, keeping the econ for further rounds now that we are 9-9. Noticing Penny did go down. That
Wah, sengit kali nih.
Lakia on the other side. He has been focusing quite a bit for the team to be getting these frags. We saw his Sovas on Ascent, his plays before on Haven. He is somebody to definitely get the impact frags for the team. And instantly walled off as you saw them play that to be a quick smoke play, but it didn't work. He was trying to hit the utility window that version 1 uses.
And again, a quiet start. Round is in the Viper's wall, delaying some of that initial aggression from U-turn. They do have the From the Shadows parry, and we've seen him use that for info gathering really every time this map, excuse me. Now we'll see how things play out. This V1, V1's not getting a lot of information here either, Riv. This is very much like a wait, patiently see things out. Look at where Jammies is right now. I often call that the discipline corner, right? Because it's rare.
I call it a
when you're dashing across site to get entry on A, you have to look there, and it's actually kind of sickening how frequently that box goes unchecked.
And it's a perfect play here from what could be from Penny as he draws the attention. That was Jammies has a field day. Yeah, that was pretty loud. Breach has some big old feet. So they're going to get themselves into a slight position here. And this is where we saw Newturn as well, kind of leaving the map open. They're like, you know, middle of the map's open. Let's play it. And now it's going to be that play towards the A Heaven side. Effie's ready and waiting.
Move.
They are committing on to the site. The discipline corner! The discipline corner! They don't check it! James gets too lucky and stuffs the barrel of the op in his mouth to clean him up, but with 4 seconds left, they've got to hurry up. He's getting delayed.
Nggak buru anjing. Oh.
Version 1 take the lead.
Oh, what a play anjing. 3 lawan 2 cok. Gila.
Get into vents and It seemed like it was almost reminiscent of a new turn double pump, back and forth, and then hit. But they kind of said, all right, well, now is the time to go. And the first people jumping in are all looking at the same thing. No one really had a corner to look at. It was kind of just in the moment, which meant there wasn't as much utility usage as there could have been. And all A entry is a little weird too to regain. Yeah.
So oftentimes when you see teams approach, have that style like Newturn just did, it's intended to cause questioning on the defensive half and to make them unsure about themselves. But the discipline that we've seen out of version 1 to maintain...
Enu udah mulai kena mental breakdown nih. Breach-nya nge-flash, kena diri dia sendiri. Itu hal yang jarang terjadi tadi.
Jarang ya.
Iya anjir. Iron aja nggak kayak gitu mainnya.
Tiny little jump peaks here, going over towards A. Is that Solo figuring out what's going on, getting the info for the team. He just solo called for smoke. He wants to see if that will draw any more attention from somebody across the map, as the rest of the team of Newturn now works. Looks like they will finally meet Solo. The captain, not the captain, I'm sorry. The kind of that brain they listen to is suggest is your captain, your leader there. But yeah, they're making their way back over.
So Effys puts up that wall up in A heaven, and version 1 will rotate off because they have the safety that as soon as that wall went up, and as soon as Newturn saw the wall rift, Newturn rotated into A, expecting that version 1 was going to pull off, and they should have a numbers advantage on the site, and that's why Jammies goes entirely undetected.
Astaga.
13 seconds left. There's not enough time to go elsewhere. There is no plan B. You've got to commit onto it here. 7 seconds left. Effy's trying to be the last
shit.
but Solo mows his way through what version 1 had set up. Now,
shit.
And Zelsis are showing up as the spike goes down. He has the Cosmic Divide, so he's got some utility. He's got a little something. They have a chance.
They've used the Cosmic Divide to get into a site and blast through, but I think without more than 2 viewpoints. Oh my God, Zelsis hits the unhittable shot. Oh my word! It's already getting Perry in the back. We always see rolling and tricking people into firing even under recoil.
Kan gue tadi sweat sama kaca terus gue menang.
Eagle eyes the head off his opponent.
Itu gimana ceritanya anjing? Serem amat kacanya bisa berubah.
Over Newturn.
Hah? Piye itu? Piye ceritanya?
That was filth. I imagine we're gonna see that again. There was actually so much that was big there. Suggest dying. Zelsis peeking off.
Oh gila itu bagus banget anjing flicknya.
Happens onto Solo. You think you really hate to see if you're a fan of Newturn because you look at it and go, really?
That shot,
that happened?
I rate that harder than Cypher No Hat and Purple Reina.
Ada setan terus di rumah lu, sumpah. Dan nih kalau kalah udah menang Iwan. Eko anjir kalau kalah.
He's got the op here. Normally in the hands of Penny. Jammies has shown he's pretty formidable with it as well. A couple of cloud bursts to deny info.
Oh, timing.
Oh, here.
Yep.
Just enough.
Anjing semuanya kena tadi. Paranoia, blinding, apalagi tuh. Udah ya itu doang ya. Iya udah itu doang. Udah, gue kira ada banyak anjing. Tadi kelihatannya banyak soalnya dia kayak rame banget gitu. Ternyata udah itu doang tuh.
And now they'll try to keep coming up. Already the play from Solo towards mid as they hold the rotation too. So waiting on the patience here, but each round has been that last 30 seconds, Doug.
And Riv, it's not even just the Solo getting control. The wall was up from Effys. They cleared it out, and that pulls Effys back over because they wanted to go A. The Rolling Thunder comes out on top of the Showstoppers. Locky gets on to Penny. Jammies with the op. Still alive as the spike begins to go down. Solo is still in an excellent spot to cause problems. We mentioned the Cosmic Divide. It's still available here. Effys also has the res, so you imagine he's going to come over. If they can provide a little bit of cover, there's a chance.
Jangan pick, jangan pick, jangan pick. Jangan pick, Lakia, jangan pick.
The Cosmic Divide comes up.
Cosmic Divide,
siapa itu? Still have to try to peek around that res. They bring Penny online. Lakia is so tempted, attempted to work around it, and he doesn't do it, but Allow does. Solo drops as Allow with the blade storm gets snatched out of the sky, not able to provide any impact. The paint down Lakia, the flash.
Gila. Ini keras anjing Northern. Dia gak mau pindah ke lower bracket, dia masih mau di first bracket. He doesn't want to go home. He want to give me that ×3.
Plays they were able to hit. Beautifully done on that stop there. And overall, this got me laughing because what other ultimate can you throw the Rolling Thunder at?
Bagus banget anjing. Suges ini bagus anjing.
Pusing 8 keliling anjing mereka. Aduh, ada begituan.
Dia cuma lari ke depan nabrak tembok tadi.
The Viper's pit right off the bat to control entry onto A. Imagine we'll see a wall from Effie's here soon, presumably either across mid or you have entry past male. And what that really does is that's forcing U-turn into a spot where it's like, all right, dude, do you have the balls to push into the Viper's pit? Probably not. Do you want to work through the wall? You don't know what's on the other side, so they have.
Oh iya, gimana ya? Kok bisa ya dia naik? Oh, lewat turret.
Right? They're even set up to where when Allow dashes across, which is a very common entry for Jet, where's she dashing into? All of the utility, all of the nanoswarms, everything that's there. With that in mind, they're still considering hitting it, but there's just no easy entry in, Rev.
And also, we have
Gila, lihat tuh si solo KR anjing udah di sana sendirian.
Harry's Omen, but you also see what the Astra's doing to stop the flow of play along with Sage Orbs, along with everything else they can throw in there.
Iya,
It's not just an Omen smoke or paranoia, so you can see how much more it's kind of adding to being able to gravity well, being able to nebula.
Oh, ngapain anjing solo KR ngapain?
Oh my gosh, it's a
Oh my god. What a play. Oh, what a play anjing. What a play banget, Cok.
And that puts them at map point, that puts them at series point.
The way version 1 takes control.
Oh, what a play anjing.
Still at this level. Their opponent
Udahan kali, kelarin kali. Mau jam berapa nih Liquid anjing?
is one of the reasons they're here. When you're amazing the casters, when you're amazing everybody else, you're pulling out stuff like this. It's just the
Iya, anjir, coba kita kayak gitu, Dud. Coba next kali, lain kali kita kerjasamanya kayak gitu.
I could break down that round. I could talk about that round for probably an hour. There was just so much that version 1 did well, but now U-turn, they've got the lockdown ready to go. They're leaning towards A as they fight to keep this map alive. Map 2 went into overtime, and this looks like
Kenapa ini anjir?
come up big. You've got to come up real big. You see the investment of utility already, right? Like they've invested the room, but now they've invested the lockdown, and because of that, look at how version 1 are creeping across the middle of the map. The Sage Wall has blocked off mid. Vanity has full control of ropes and vents. They have
Wah, anjing gila banget tai molinya.
And for U-turn, they're gonna have to push their way.
Wow.
Are they gonna hunt him down? Vanity
Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. These people so crazy.
One of their star duelists, because up until this point, that's what he has.
Udah pulang. Udah, allow, jangan push, please, allow. Menang anjing. Gila, bagus banget. Oh, udah low tuh dua-duanya, udah dong, jangan neutral.
Zelsis will try to save whatever weaponry he can into the next round as you see members of U-turn both Suggest and Locky are going to.
Gila, 11-12 coy. Halo Bang, aku nggak jadi tidur. Halo Evan.
We're one round away from overtime.
OT for me, please.
Kamu main Valorant juga nggak sih, Evan?
Oh my word, what a game so far.
Ini bagus anjing, dicek tai. Lakia ya, GG Cok. Ayo dong teriakin dong. What are you doing?
To have that all be
able to
but to not be able to play off of what you're trying to set up on your opponent and just fall prey to everything they wanted. It's not a good look. We get one from each.
Soalnya temen telepon, temen atau teman.
bringing it right.
Temen apa teman? Telepon jam segini.
Across the map does put Penny with the operator on B. You have Effie's over near heaven of B under there. Just this is your stop power.
Adalah ini yang mati oh. Kayak
exact play right there. The wall goes up and you think it's you have a little bit more freedom. You would think to swing around that and get the ult turret, but the smoke from Perry
1, 2, alarm bot situ. Oh, boleh tuh gue coba tuh. Boleh. Kenapa Kevin? Aku nggak main Valorant. Oh, kamu nggak main Valorant, Wyvern?
Almost immediate chaos once again. They're gonna hold everything for now. Showstopper is actually going into heaven. Sorry, into sight, I should say.
Oh, nice banget anjing.
Celsius was the only one on the site. They invested a considerable amount to get on there. We mentioned the Showstopper.
Oh, OT nih, OT anjing, OT. Please give me overtime, entertain me Korea. Oh, I believe in you. Oh no.
On the rope, literally on the rope, manages to win that gunfight to bring us down to 4 apiece. Version 1, the clock continues to tick away. You're gonna have to go here, and you're gonna have to go soon.
Oh, nice banget anjing. Nice lagi ya.
Solo playing around it. No, he gets mowed down through the smoke as it's a 2v2. Perry in a great
Oti. Gila nih Korea, unexpected anjing. Unexpected banget nih Korea. Wah, coy. Debate terus. Hah, debate terus? Kok debate? Kamu kan main tower defense kan, kok debate?
Made this series, Doug, we have to recap, made this series seem like it was version 1's from the beginning. But that was never the case. New turn, knew they could come back. They had the strats. At times they had...
Oh, mereka kayak... Oh, akhirnya. Anjir. Oh.
Now, is it the op? Do they bring it back out?
Seneng mereka ya?
Apa? Seneng aja, lega anjir. Sampai habis boker ya. Oh. Hah?
Habis dipakai apa gimana?
Gak tahu tuh. Siapa tuh anjir tadi?
Lu anjing yang kayak gitu.
Enggak, itu tadi orang Koreanya anjir.
Taking down Damwon Kia to get here, taking down Vision Strikers to get here. And showing a lot of potential and power during this matchup. It couldn't have ended any other way.
No, absolutely not. I think the one thing that we have to keep in mind here is as we go into overtime and think about how each side played out for both teams. Version 1 were very effective on the attacking half, right? You remember it was a 6-6 half, which is not common on split. That means they really had something good going for them on the attacking side. Now version 1 is going to be starting the overtime on attack.
Nih yang melon anjing. Dingin melonnya kerasa. Ya, Cyper, Killjoy.
Everybody looks at how you're playing these rounds out because
it's
now up to you. It's not
percaya dong.
Providing you this round.
Mental mereka udah kayak ini ya.
Korea tuh mentalnya kuat-kuat. Lu nggak lihat Kim Jong-kook anjing, berotot gitu.
Oh, Presiden Korea Utara ya?
Bukan.
Okay, so slight adaptation, but a similar look from U-turn.
Itu Kim
Jong-un. The smoke from Perry to deny
itu kimchi entot.
So Vanity's actually able to check that back corner. That's been so problematic for Vanity and for the
Emang iya.
On that first half.
So tau banget lu anjing, kayak kenal deket lu.
We'll see what Vanity can do to explain.
Menang anjing. NU hilang V1 hilang 1-1 anjing.
Coming back, able to get up and get a bit on his Zelsis and jammies.
That's a terrifying
Vanity still working it. The crossfire in A2 is by new turn, terrifying.
Oh no way, timing.
Somehow didn't detect the two members of U.S. And now they're actually coming in from behind. There's an excellent pinch because of what Vanity was able to do. He's already gotten one.
Oh.
But he's in a 1v3. Yeah, he's gonna get cleaned up.
Oh.
Concerns that we had about New Turn on the defensive half have for now been stifled as they take the lead.
Kok nggak nambah skornya? Kok nggak berubah apa-apanya? Kenapa nih? Technical timeout nih. Technical timeout. 30 menit.
Oh my word. That kind of play, it puts a smile on my face.
Oh, itu yang ngedesas si solo Korea tuh, si Killjoy.
That's how you always have to be playing. Oh. You're thinking, I need to nade. I need to move up. You're already 2 steps behind your opponent. You always need to be thinking, are they moving? What are they doing? And yeah, they're moving. Here comes Allow.
Anjing, Allow ini.
You see Allow has made a whole lot
This Allow boy.
making its way towards B and Riv. I mentioned the discipline that version 1 showed in regulation.
Smoke dash anjing.
Really hard on the early aggression. So Newtron's going to be able to get onto B.
Aduh, jangan dong.
For free unless Zelsis can cause some heroics. He's already taken care of Lakia. What else does he have left in him?
Quick turret up. Flanked out by Allow.
Alam bot mereka tuh nggak pernah hancur. Swamp grenade mereka tuh nggak pernah hancur. Kok kayaknya gue taruh hancur mulu anjing.
They're waiting for Jamies to show up. Now Jamies has joined the fold, but Allow, as you said, is on the flank.
Oh, nice banget. Oh, nice banget timing. Oh, gila Enu. Gila Enu. Anjing. Anjing gila banget Korea. Wah. Gila.
Well, you know what? I hear that. What a game. Version 1 taken down by the Kingslayers coming out of Korea. New Turn Gaming. And they did it.
Gila, dia kalah di map 1 sama kayak lawan Baby Shark anjing.
Iya sih. 25.
How many times has Penny been good in that moment, right? Like peeking through with the not able to land at this time. And Zelsis, while he tried getting things back, he was able to get one. It just wasn't enough. The aggression that we saw out of New Turn in overtime really took care of business, and you can tell, man, the boys are riding on cloud 9 right now. You saw the ears cut off. You see references to that already.
Gila.
Don't get me wrong, but man, New
Lagi wangi banget gua anjing Dut. Gila. Nggak bisa coki, aku lagi teleponan sama temenku.
Lu main lagi ya,
Hah?
Lu pasang lagi.
Kan ini 21, gue 21 ini kalau misalkan Nuturn menang gue dikali 3. Kalau misalkan V1 menang gue dikali 4. Gue pasang 25-25. Hadiahnya berapa? Banyak hadiahnya ini mah buat gue. BTW, oke guys, thank you banget udah menemani gue nobar di game pertama. Gue bakal off dulu dan see you guys besok jam 3 sore. Bye-bye.
There's so much that New Turn can build off of here, because think about the storylines heading into this. We've talked about this on the desk. How good is Korea at attack?
Tim pilihan gue masih di upper bracket. Dapat butterfly dong nih gue.
North America